All right, very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, from the controller scopes. Once again, Captain Nabs is here with you for a afternoon of ATC. And today, as you can see, why am I hearing that? There we go. I was hearing the feedback from the Twitch check in my own speaker. So anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, welcome to Edmonton Center. I've been trying to do this for a little while now. Every time I seem to want to log on, it's already occupied. So here we are with Edmonton Center finally. And we're just going to go ahead and check out a couple aircraft here. Let's see here, who have we got here? This guy, I'm just going to check. Before I send some of these guys contact me, so I just want to check that they are IFR first. So we're going to send him a contact me, him a contact me. And we got Vancouver Center online adjacent to us, which will help because that'll probably lure in some traffic. So we're probably going to have a fair bit of traffic pretty soon here. Let's go ahead and also just have a quick look in Calgary. Weather's 2:30 at 7. So we're going to get set up some ADAs here for Calgary this afternoon. For now, I'm just going to go to, let's see here. If I can find it in my bloody list. There it is, Calgary. Let's see here. I'm going to say arrive 17 left, depart 17 right for now until I see something different. I might check Live ATC in a few minutes and just see what they're actually operating. But for now, that's what I'm going to put down. And we'll go with that because we got a couple people inbound to Calgary. 40 miles visibility, broken at 22,000 feet though. A beautiful VFR day, 9 degrees. Lovely 9 degrees. Guys, spring is coming.
Edmonton, good morning. Cargo looks 907. Echo, flight level 310, inbound, Peach River we are.
All right, and that was Cargo Lux 97 Echo, Edmonton. Let's see here. Squawk a new code of 0170.
0170, cargo looks 907 Echo.
That is really loud to me. I don't know about you guys, but to me that sounds really loud. So I'm going to just see if I can reduce that a little bit there. It's always a little bit of fun trying to figure out the volumes at first. Cargo Lux 907 Echo Heavy, thank you. Identified, flight level 310. Welcome.
Thank you.
Still pretty loud. I'm going to see if I can reduce that a little bit here and reduce that a little bit as well for myself. I'm just going to turn down the audio on my headset and turn down the audio for you guys a little bit. If I can just get my headset controller to where I can reach it here. Everything's kind of all caught together, so just bear with me for just a moment here. Let's just get that down a couple of notches. All right, hopefully that's okay. Hey! Just watching the Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto vid. Well, thank you for watching that. I hope it was interesting. That was a good one. Wasn't nearly as it was a pretty short couple of legs too, so I didn't get a whole lot of time to chat about a lot of stuff. A little bit more reasonable volume wise. And sorry, the what was the call sign there for Tango Echo X-ray?
Texas Cargo 51.
Texas Cargo 51. Hello. Squawk code. Let's see. Squawk code 0341 for Texas Cargo 51.
0341.
I'm just going to try and drag this over to my other screen. I have another screen right beside me here. It's a little bit awkward because it's right beside me. But I just want to be able to see that volume. I hope you guys can hear the audio of the aircraft okay. I turned it quite a bit down, then this guy's a little bit quieter than the last guy, so trying to find that sort of happy medium. Every time I get into a different room, different connections, different people's what do I try to say here? Different people's audio, it's hard to hear sometimes. Texas Cargo 51, thank you. Identified 12000, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And I'm just trying to think what's closest to him. He's on his way up to Yellowknife. And Texas Cargo 51, closest altimeter I believe I got for you there, Hay River at 2988. I believe HY is Hay River.
2988 for Hay River, thank you.
Alaska 1912, Edmonton, good day. Just want to confirm you can receive voice. Yeah, Alaska 1912, perfect. Thank you very much, Squawk Ident. If I get a chance here, I'm going to pull up, like I said, liveatc.net and see if I cannot get a sense of what they're actually using. Alaska 1912, identified descending through flight level 300. Information in Calgary is Echo. Plan runway 17 left for arrival, descend 14,000. Alaska 1912, you're identified at flight level 300. Thank you. Yeah, 14,000. And I didn't give it to you. Calgary altimeter 2979er. All right, I'm just going to see if I can pull up Live ATC. I don't know if they have a Calgary ATIS on liveatc.net, but they have so much stuff. No, they don't have an ATIS. They have tower, arrival, departure. Yeah, we'll listen in the tower. Just see if we can pick up on what the ATIS is that they're using, or what the active runway is there.
Edmonton Center, Westwind 2660 heavy, flight level 340 on the Burco 5, arrival to Calgary.
Westwind 2260, Edmonton, good day. Squawk code 0273.
We'll put 0273 in the box. Westwind 2660 heavy.
All right, just pulling up flight radar 24 here. Just seeing if I can see that they are landing south and what runways they might be using. Looks like they're using, oh, that's not an airplane, that's a truck. There's nobody actually on approach to Calgary right now, so I can't tell you what they're actually using. Is that best? Just a guess right now. Westwind 2260, Edmonton, thank you. Identified flight level 340. The information in Calgary is Echo. When ready to send 14,000.
I'll go get Echo from Calgary. When ready to descend to flight level 1 or 14,000. Westwood 2660 heavy.
Westwind 2660, you got it. And altimeter in Calgary for you, 2979er.
I have that now. 2660 heavy.
That was the Calgary Tower you guys can hear in the background there. I'm just kind of listening to it on Live ATC, just trying to get a sense of what they're doing in Calgary, see if it's, yeah, and see if it's similar to the configuration I've got set up. I like to try and go for the real world configuration when I can. Let's see, 5. Hey, I figured it out. There's the Calgary ground view. We got nobody on the ground right now, but hopefully we'll get somebody here soon. And yeah, sorry, back to the chat. Can't hear any aircraft at all. Okay, let me just check up on that. Because the Alaska in 1912 is receive only. But it looks like it was transmitting, so I'm not sure why you guys are not hearing it. It might not be as loud as me, but it should be out there. Let me just check here. It should be on this. It seems to have gotten quite quiet now because I turned myself down, so what I might have to do is really quickly turn up the audio for VATSIM a little bit here because I feel like... No, actually, I don't need to do that. Now what I need to do is just turn it up here on the streamer, because yeah, the Westwind was barely audible. Okay, I'll turn the streaming up a little bit here, and we'll do a radio check for the next guy that comes along. But thank you for that. I appreciate that. It's very, yeah. I try to judge what I try to judge the volumes of my streams just based on a couple of little audio feedbacks, and it can be very especially challenging sometimes because you're not, especially when they're talking. Like I'm trying to focus on what they're saying, and I'm not really looking at my stream deck and looking at what the audio feedback is in the stream deck. So I'm turning myself down a little bit too because I think my mic is actually a little bit too loud. I did notice that in my last video, not the Ottawa leg, but the leg that I just did. I was just sort of rewatching part of it, and I noticed that I was a little bit overmodulated on my last stream. So I'm going to try and fix that up a little bit. It's also been a long time since I've done any Calgary controlling, so I'm going to have to. I just closed that screen. Didn't mean to do that. And of course, I just realized that I also am not here, but I am here. And there I go. Hello. Now I am here.
Juliet Romeo Sierra Yankee Tower, next left Alpha, contact ground 121 Desmond Alpha, run that ground 120 Desmond Alpha, take GIS please.
All right, we just had somebody land on. I'm not even sure what runway is that now. I never use that one at Calgary. It's 29. Just had someone land 29 in the real world in Calgary.
Red Cannon 140 Heavy Center, 0 set full, line up on the threshold, runway 29. Line up, 29er, Canada 1.
They're actually landing and departing runway 29. What is the wind?
Calgary Westjet 657, 2160 at this time. 657, Calgary, number 1, runway 29, departing the Dreamliner in front, land Julia 2 on position. Current wind 230 at 20 gusts 25, allow landing clearance both 35.
They're landing and departing runway 29. I've never even seen a runway 29 configuration used in Calgary, but it might be kind of fun. Let's see if I have even a ground or a view for runway 29. I should. Just gotta find it.
Again, 140 Heavy Center, contact departure 124.5 in the air, wind 230 and 20 gusts 25. From threshold, clear takeoff runway 29. Clear takeoff 29, Air Canada 140, departure.
I can't find. Why can't I find my? Found him. Calgary 29. And Alaska 1912 Edmonton. The winds are picking up. They're now 260 at 11 gust 20. Runway 29 is available if you'd like it. I can give you vectors over for that, or you can stick to 17 left, your choice. All right, Alaska 1912. I copy 17 left. We'll stick with the plan then. Thank you. And descend 9,000. And Westwind 2660. The same question for you. The winds are kind of swinging around. They're picking up 260, 11, gusting 20. Did you want to stick with 17 left, or do you want to switch to runway 29er?
Wind 230 21, and clear to land runway 29. Clear to land 29, Westjet 657.
Westwind 2660 Edmonton. Now he's gone. I can't hear him either.
Edmonton Scenario, did you call Westwind 2660 heavy?
Yeah, Westwind 2660. The winds are swinging around in Calgary. They're now 260 at 11, gusting 20. Do you want to stick with 17 left or switch to runway 29er?
I would really prefer to do 17 right since it's close to cargo parking that I would use, but I could also switch to 17 left.
Westwind 2660. No, that's fine. 17 right is approved. You can plan 17 right.
Okay, I'll use it. It looks like it's only like 1 or 2 knot tailwind, so it shouldn't be a problem at all.
Check 230 21 gusts 20.
Okay, very good. All right, so he's fine with that. That's good. Still trying to pull up this chart here because I've honestly forgotten my crossing restrictions and everything here. It's been so long since I've done Edmonton. It's been probably like a month and a half. I kept on trying to get on, and just every single time I had picked it, I said, okay, I'll hop on and do a couple of hours today. There's always somebody already on. So you got to get on early, apparently. The early bird gets the worm in Edmonton. Let's see here. So he's on the Burco arrival for the 17s. Yes, below 15,000. Toe tap. Yep, yep, yep. And then this guy is on the, what is he on? Vesga, non-jets. It's, that's the IGVAP. That's right, IGVAP. I haven't, boy, I'm so out of it here. Alaska 1912, descend 8,000. All right, but hopefully the fact that we have Vancouver online should hopefully lure in some traffic, because that's one thing I found is that we have a lot of we get a lot of traffic between Edmonton and Vancouver when both sectors are online. Of course, now that I was talking to this guy, I didn't even listen to his, I didn't even look at the audio during his response. So I hope it's loud enough, and I'll, all right, I'm going to go ahead and change up the ADAs here. In a second, we're going to change it to runway 29 as the active runway for arrivals and departures. I can accommodate other runways if I need to, but it's kind of fun. It's different. I don't think I've ever done a 29 configuration in Calgary before, so it's kind of nice. It got to change things up a little bit. Of course, now the two arrivals, of course, both want to stick to what they got, but that's fine. I get it.
Calgary Center, Westland 2660 Heavy has information Oscar for Calgary.
Westwind 2260, Roger. Let's see, for Victy, he should be crossing that at 65, I believe. Oh, wow, I am so out of practice on this. Victy at 60, 65, yeah, really it's, Ebcop is at 58, so yeah, if I can get him at 60, I think it's at 6,000, yeah. Alaska 1912 descends 6,000. Leave 6,000, so yeah, pretty much at Victy. Yeah, I could turn a base at Victy. 6,000. Okay, good. It's been a while since I've done Edmonton. Gonna get this guy turning here in just a second. Hopefully we'll get a few people logged in and get some excitement going on here. Just gonna check, see if we have any other inbounds. Nothing right now. It's been a little while, but we do have this one guy going inbound to Yellowknife as well, so that'll be a little bit interesting. Alaska 1912, turn right, heading 080. Yep, there he goes, making the turn. I did say right to 080. I didn't even hear it click because I've got it. Has my active text. It's not exactly exciting watching people control text airplanes. Texas Cargo 51 is a DC-6. Where did he come from? He came from Bozeman, Montana, all the way up to Yellowknife. a decent flight in a DC-6. I have not flown the DC-6 in a little while. I'm looking forward to doing it again. I'm going to try and take it out and knock some of the dust off it because it's been a while since I operated that airplane. It doesn't look like it's quite perpendicular to the runway. I wonder if that's just the wind blowing him back towards the center line there. Alaska 1912 Edmonton, turn right heading 140 for the intercept, cleared ILS, runway 17 left. $140 for the ILS 17 left. Good. Okay, he responded. Not hearing the text responses at all. West wind 2660, descend 9,000.
Continue descent to 9,000, west wind 2660 heavy.
Hopefully that's loud enough. Do you recommend Fly Tampa YYZ for MSFS? Trifix 1X wants to know. Yes, absolutely.
Edmonton, Cargolux 907 Echo, request climb flight level 330.
Cargolux 907 Echo Heavy approved, climb flight level 330.
Climb 330, Cargolux 907 Echo.
I absolutely 100% do. I recommend Toronto, Fly Tampa, Toronto, 100%. It's very good scenery. Alaska 1912 Edmonton, you've gone through the localizer. If you don't have it captured, continue right turn heading 200 to re-intercept, still cleared the ILS 17 left. I was afraid. Sometimes it's hard with text pilots to kind of gauge how they're reacting because the text takes so long to kind of get back. If you can, he's got it. Yep. You know, if you can, you know, when you're interfacing with someone, when you're conversing with someone, you get the response a little bit faster, you get the feedback a little faster. I'm not sure if he's a slow pilot or if he's just a slow typist. You know, that's kind of my trouble when he's text only. So, trying my best to kind of anticipate, give him a fairly tight vector on the final there. Looks like he should be just fine. He's just a little inside 50. It should be just perfect to hit the glide slope. Yeah, that Fly Tampa scenery is fantastic. The Fly Tampa Toronto is fantastic. It's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect. And actually, a friend of mine already pointed out. I haven't been home for a couple of days, but pointed out that they have already released the. There it goes. The first update to Fly Tampa Toronto. So Fly Tampa's already updated their scenery with fixing a number of flaws that people have pointed out. So they're already on their first update. Alaska 1912, the Calgary winds showing 260, 11 gust 20, clear to land, runway 17 left. I actually highlighted a couple of errors that I had noticed, and there's definitely other ones that other people picked up on. I noticed that the de-icing pads were not being labeled correctly. The signage for the de-icing pad was not quite correct, so I pointed that out to them. I sent them a quick little photo just to help them figure it out. So that was apparently one of the things that was fixed in the first update. There's a number of things that were fixed. The PAPIs were fixed. They were all originally at 0, but they've all been now adjusted to their proper angles. Westwind 2660 heavy Edmonton. After Burco, fly present heading for vectors to 17 right.
Okay, after Burco, I'm slowing to 230 now. After Burco, fly present heading for vectors to 17 right, 2660 heavy.
You got it. Yeah, so, and that goes to prove.
710 with Papa looking for clearance to Vancouver, please.
Jazz 710 Calgary, good day. You're cleared to Vancouver via the Stampede 9 departure. Vectors to Botag, flight plan route, departure runway today 29er, squawk code 0476.
Can you repeat the squawk, please, for Jazz 710?
He's super quiet too. Jazz 710 squawk 0476.
All right, Jazz 710 is cleared to the Vancouver airport via the Stampede 9 departure, vectors to Botag, then flight planned route. Takeoff runway 29, squawking 0476.
Jazz 710, that readback is correct. Let's see here. Information is Papa. Pushback startup at your discretion. Call ready for taxi.
Call for taxi, Jazz 710, thank you.
West wind 2660, continue descent 6000.
West wind 2660, descend, continue descend to 6,000.
Yeah, it's too loud now. And Jazz 710, Edmonton, just so you know, your audio is coming in really quiet. I can make you out, but it's just very faint.
Roger, we'll adjust. Jazz 710.
Thanks. Alaska 1912, welcome to Calgary. Turn right when able and say parking. And he says he's parking wherever. I love it. All right, Alaska 1912 transborder. Yeah, let's do this. Taxi Echo and Echo Alpha into gate 80. Just picking one kind of at random here, near the other guy. I'm pretty sure this is the transborder side. This is international. This is the domestic side over here, as far as I recall. Yeah, I do not operate this enough. I should try to operate more. West wind 2660, fly heading 260.
Turning right to heading 260, west wind 2660, heavy.
They didn't fix the CDF ground labels. Still north to south? What? I didn't even notice the ground labels. I just noticed the sign as I was taxiing past. I'm like, it doesn't say NCS. It just says pad. But what do you think about the Reg Designs version? Honestly, I can't say too much about the Reg Designs version because I haven't picked it up. I went with the Fly Tampa because I own the Fly Tampa in the P3D world. I thought it was great. I know that Fly Tampa knows what they're doing when it comes to building scenery, and Toronto's one where it's just such a complicated airport. I feel like you have to have an experienced scenery designer work on that one because performance. Even Fly Tampa had a hard time tuning it for performance, and they made a lot of adjustable options in the P3D world, and still it was hard to get a decent performance out of that. Their performance on the MSFS version, it's fantastic. It is a small hit. It's somewhere between 5 and 10 frames per second hit when you load up Toronto, but nothing like what you would lose before. Like you would lose like 50 to 70% of your frames going into Toronto. Like it was ridiculous. So. Yeah, I supported Fly Tampa. I've worked with them a little bit. I've submitted some information about various Canadian airports to them in the past, so I've worked with them. I respect them. I know that they're trying their best to make a very realistic airport. I don't know too much about Reg Scenery Designs. I don't know Reg Designs what their background is or anything. I'm a little disappointed that they kind of came out when Fly Tampa said repeatedly, we are working on Toronto. It is scheduled to release next year, and then they tried to scoop a little bit. It was a little disappointing. I like supporting new developers, and I'm two minds. I like supporting new developers and helping new developers, get off the ground, but at the same time, um, and again, competition is a good thing, but there's just so many airports out there that are not covered in MSFS with a detailed model that the last thing we need to be doing is repeating the efforts at these airports. Fly Tampa, I hate to say it, but they really kind of called dibs on Toronto a while ago. They did confirm they were working on it. I I kind of support them a little bit more just for that reason. Like I knew they were coming out with it. I knew it was going to be worthwhile. They've worked really hard on it. It looks really good. There are still problems. I think they don't think their update 1 fixed everything. It fixed a lot of kind of the glaring major problems. There's some modeling that has to happen still. I was reading one review it, and they pointed out the fact that yeah, the Arcana hangar that was demolished a couple of years ago is yeah, he's at the gate already. Is still standing, and the replacement hangar that has been built to accommodate 777s and all the 87s that are been added to their fleet doesn't exist yet. So some things have been updated. Some things are still quite
Center
outdated.
and Jazz 710 radio check.
And Jazz 710, that's coming a lot better now. Thank you.
Roger, thanks.
Yeah, so I definitely support it, and I think it's good. I think it's definitely worth the money. Especially it's one of the cheaper sceneries they've ever produced. They're getting into the MSFS bandwagon with reducing the price of all their sceneries as well, which is great to see more and more people kind of doing that, trying to appeal to a wider and wider market. Speaking of things reducing their prices, if anybody didn't see, Orbex is having a sale right now. If you're interested in any Orbex scenery, they're having their March Madness sale for the next like 3 or 4 days. 40% off most of their catalog, except for usually just their newest stuff. They usually don't put on sale, but anything that's more than probably 3 to 6 months old is on sale. So if you've been eyeing any scenery at Orbex, Orbex is having a sale right now. I keep on wanting to vector this guy to the left side. Got to remember he wants to go to the right side. And he's going down to the cargo ramp, which is, yeah, all there on the right side. That's fine.
And Center Jazz 710 is ready to taxi.
Jazz 710 Edmonton. The information is Papa, altimeter 2980, runway 29er. Let's do it this way. Taxi out Echo Alpha there. Juliet, Bravo, Romeo to Foxtrot for 29er.
Echo Alpha, Juliet, Bravo, Romeo to Foxtrot for 29er, Jazz 710.
WestJet, correction, West Wind, 2660, fly heading 240.
Heading left 240, Westwind 2660 heavy.
Still Jazz a little quiet, but better than he was. I gotta start pulling up plates for Yellowknife here, because this guy's gonna land in Yellowknife before we know it. Let's make sure I got my plates ready to go for this. What's the wind favoring here? It's favoring, see 160 at 8. So let's see here, 160 at 8. Do the RNAV to runway 16. I don't know if he's RNAV capable. There's a VOR to 16. I'll have to ask him what he wants to do. It's been a long day so far. I got up really early this morning. I'm kind of wishing I had gotten some coffee to accompany this stream. That would have been nice. Don't mind me if I'm looking over here. I'm just looking at the other screen where I've got my chat up, and I've got, oh, I didn't even see Wheels 247. Hey, how's it going? I didn't even see your chat there. The chat window's really small on this other screen, so welcome, and yeah, welcome aboard. West wind 2660, turn left heading 200 for the intercept, cleared ILS to, correction, 17 right. Wow, Toronto just shines through all the time with me.
Clear to ILS 17 right, turning left to 200, Westwind 2660 heavy.
Roger. Oh, and this guy, Alaska 1912's already refiled to go back to Vancouver. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. All right, let's give him a new squawk code. Clear his altitude select. Cool. He's already refiled to go back. Nice. There you go, some more traffic. keep it busy. Hopefully now that we're online here, like I said, once Calgary and Vancouver are kind of online, or Edmonton and Vancouver online together, boy, that really tends to bring people out. It's a nice length of flight between Calgary and Vancouver, or Edmonton, Vancouver. Most people can do that like in one sitting. So I find it tends to get very busy when these two are online. I've actually used this to my advantage when I'm done training with students on center. If I feel like they're comfortable enough where I can sort of let them loose a little bit of Vancouver, I log in as Edmonton, and it just encourages so much traffic to come that way. Might have to hold this departure till just after this guy lands. We'll see. Yeah, maybe I'll get my Coke now because I'm gonna have to also terminate this stream probably before it gets too late tonight. I've got to get up at a really, really unbelievable hour in the morning, so I've got to terminate the stream. Not for quite a few hours yet, but definitely before it, probably before it even gets dark outside. Now daylight savings time is finally here. Hooray! It's starting to feel like spring. It's bright outside for longer. I'm excited about spring. It's been a very long winter this year. He's got, that's 5 miles. It's about 10 miles final right now. Just want to see Jazz turn there. Come on, Jess, you can do it. Just creeping along there. It's a big airport. It's because I have to zoom out so far to kind of get the whole airport sight. Like you think he's not moving very fast. He is moving at a decent pace. It's such a big airport. I'm zoomed out so far. It doesn't look like he's making much progress. Jazz 710 Edmonton, are you ready for an immediate?
We are, Jazz 710.
Jazz 710, contact me once you're airborne. Traffic is about a 7-mile final for the intersecting runway. The winds 250, 11 gust 20, clear for takeoff, runway 29er.
Clear for takeoff, 29er, no delay, Jazz 710.
West wind 2660, have landing clearance for you in about 2 miles, aircraft departing the intersecting runway.
Roger that. 2660 heavy.
Keep everybody informed. That's also an important thing when you're doing ATC. Keep the pilots informed about what's going on. I just bought the Kit Fox bush plane from Orbex. Nice. I've got my eye on Burbank because my pilot's life career, one of the airports I have to visit my next month worth of flying is Burbank. So just have to wait till I probably get home, and I will probably be stocking up on Burbank. The Kit Fox does look like a lot of fun. I know a person. I knew a couple that actually built their own Kit Fox. I wonder if they still have it. I haven't talked to them in a little while. Curious if they still have that airplane. And they were actually, funny enough, operating it out of, I believe, Springbank. I think. I honestly cannot remember. West wind 2660. The winds 250, 11 gust 20. Clear to land. Runway 17 right.
Clear to land. Runway 17 right. West wind 2660 heavy.
And center, Jazz 710 is climbing through 5,000 for 6,500.
Jazz 710 identified. Climb 16,000.
Up to 16,000, West Jet 710. Correction, Jazz 710.
We're all terrible at call signs in this job here because we're always all changing them up. Get a new paint job, and then all of a sudden you gotta use a new call sign that you're just never used to using. Let's see here. Jazz 710, turn left direct SIMTA on course.
Sorry, can you give me the FedEx for that, please?
Jazz 710 Simta, Sierra India Mike Tango Alpha.
Left direct Simta on course, Jazz 710.
All right, and so Alaska 1912 has requested clearance to Vancouver. Any aliases, that's fine. Cleared to Vancouver. Let's see here. Stampede 9 departure. Tag. Depart 29. Squawk is 1054. Just gonna mark them down for 29 on the Stampede 9. There we go. West wind 2660. Welcome to Calgary. Make the right turn on runway 08 and then taxi Alpha Whiskey. Are you going to the FedEx or the cargo jet apron? Oh, never mind. He's making the left turn on Charlie 3. Never mind. Oh, now he's frozen. There you go. West wind 2660. Never mind. I see you're off on Charlie 3 there. Make the left turn on Charlie. And which apron are you going to? And his read back is correct. Jazz 710, continue climb, flight level 320.
320, Jazz 710.
West wind 2660, which apron are you going to?
I'm over at the apron 7 over at Whiskey.
West wind 2660, okay, perfect. Taxi Charlie, uniform, cross 17 right, Alpha Whiskey.
Okay, Charlie, uniform, cross 17 right, Alpha Whiskey, Westwind 2660 heavy.
You got it. All right, and this guy is how far out from Yellowknife now? Still 155, so he's still about a 40-minute, at 210 knots, he's still about a 45 minute go, so. Toronto's not on sale though. Might still get it. Well, Toronto just came out, so they're not going to put it on sale. The Orbex never puts stuff on sale right when it comes out. Orbex always, it's usually like a 3 to 6 month window where they charge you full price, and then after that they start including stuff in sale. So whenever something's newer on Orbex, for sure, it's not going to get on sale. That being said, also. Orbex, the Toronto is an Orbex partner release. It's not an actual Orbex release. It's Fly Tampa's release, just being sold through the Orbex store. So the partners get to decide when they do their discounts, and sometimes they match them up with Orbex, and sometimes they don't. So Fly Tampa is one that is not commonly known for discounting. That's one thing I'll give them for sure. They do not often discount their scenery. It's good scenery, and it's usually worth paying full price for, and especially because it's a little bit cheaper. It's like $10 cheaper than the P3D version for what is still really good scenery. I certainly think it's worthwhile. That's one thing, though. Fly Tampa very rarely seems to have sales. Every once in a while, like on Sim Market, you would see one of their sceneries would just come up for a random sale. Might be 30% off or something randomly for a week or so, very quietly, but they never really have like a big sale or anything. That's one company where I guess they just believe that whatever their market value is, they believe in that market value. They never put up a sale. Some places have a sale like every other week, and you always wait for a sale. The one that comes to mind, they do all those European airports. I can't think of them now. They do a whole ton of European airports, but like every second week on Sim Market, they've got like a sale in their price. All their airports are like 30% off. So it's like when you know that those sales are coming all the time, you just wait for them. What is this stupid company's name now? I can't think what it's called. Just Sim. That's right, Just Sim. That's the company. Yeah, they have a sale like every 2 or 3 weeks. Dursby is another one that has a lot of sales very often, and Orbex does. Orbex is kind of a little bit more tricky though because they will not put all their scenery on sale all the time. They almost always have something on sale, but they won't put something on sale. You know, they won't put all their sceneries across the board usually on sale at once. You kind of have to kind of keep an eye open and watch for it to see what's on sale. But yeah, they're having a sale right now, so I'm going to get that Burbank. And I'm also waiting for some of the other aircraft that are going to come out. That Concorde has really kind of piqued my interest. They said the end of this month, Concorde's going to release from DC Designs. Haven't put a price tag on it, just put a release date on it. So hopefully it's a little bit less pricey than the P3D version, like everything else, hopefully dropping a little bit on the price. Still waiting to see that 737 come out. The Mad Dog's coming out soon. The other one that kind of piqued my interest as well, from a this is something really kind of different from most of what I normally do, is the DC-3. Airplane Heaven is putting some of the final touches on their DC-3 for MSFS, which is, again, I think it's going to be a really fun airplane. Like, it's just absolutely the classic airliner from a totally different age when eh, when getting to your destination was not a certainty in the airline industry. Like, now it's so every day and just automatically assumed you're going to get somewhere and everything's going to be safe because it's been, obviously the industry has struggled for years and years to make it safe. But yeah, the DC-3 harkens back to an era where, like, you know, engine failures were not a question of if, it was just really a question of when. You're going to have some. You're going to have many engine failures throughout your career. Nowadays, you could be a pilot, you can go through your whole career and never have an engine fail because they're so reliable. The equipment is generally so reliable. You're not very likely to get a lot of difficult circumstances. But back then, very different. So yeah, one of my favorite books to read. And anybody who likes aviation at all, if you ever want to read a really good book about aviation, probably one of my favorite books of all time is called Fate is the Hunter, and it's the memoirs of a captain who flew in the Allied, what was it? It was called the Allied Air Command. It was basically like the civilian wing of the Army during World War II that flew like the transports. Um, and so he flew the C-47 for years, which was the military version of the DC-3. And just to read his descriptions, it's like he's such a vivid writer. You feel like you're sitting there next to him when you're reading each chapter. You can taste the oil in the air. You can feel the vibrations. You can feel the fear. As you're flying through icing that the airplane is not able to keep up with. It's just such a uh, he's such a good writer. He's written it so well. You just, like I said, like, I feel like when I read that book, I feel like I'm sitting right there next to him. So to go and fly the DC-3 and the C-47 and just be able to kind of bomb around in that airplane and really kind of experience old school aviation, I think it'd be a lot of fun. And I didn't even, I remember actually reading this. I didn't even think about this, but Airplane Heaven, I think about 3 months ago, not even 3 months ago, announced that they were terminating all P3D development, and as a result, they released all of their P3D aircraft for free. So they are still available on the marketplaces, but they are now all free. Any P3D version of their airplane is all free. They're putting all their money in, or all their eggs in the MSFS basket. So, if you still fly the P3D platform and you want to fly some of these classic airplanes, they're all, I believe they're on Sim Market, I think, and I think they're on. Uh, I believe they're on their own. No, they're not at Sim Market anymore, but I believe they're just on the Airplane Heaven website, and you can just go in there and at no charge just download them all. And there's no support being offered any going forward at all, which is fine. To me is fine. Like, that's the way you want to do it. But they've released all their aircraft as sort of as a as a gift to the community. If you guys want to take them and do what you will with them, we're not going to support them, but we would like to, it's a lot of effort they put into those. It's nice to see that they're not going to necessarily abandon that software altogether. So.
And then about another 10 miles, so I can go ahead and start down.
All right, very good. Texas Cargo 51, when ready to send 3,000. Again, the Yellowknife altimeter 29087.
Okay. I was expecting a cruise clearance.
You can descend at your discretion. I've got no other traffic between you and Yellowknife, so your discretion down to 3,000.
No problem.
Uh,
My discretion to 3,000, Texas Cargo 51. Thank you.
No problem. Now,
Back in another lifetime, I was going into Guam, and I was probably 150 miles out, and I got a cruise clearance to 3,000.
we're just not used to seeing the DC-6 and its phenomenal climb performance anymore.
No, I wasn't in a DC-6 either. KC-135.
Practically the same difference. All right, Alaska 1912 ready to taxi, and there's someone else called Easy 684. I don't even see where this guy is. Where is Easy 684? If anybody sees him, please.
I saw them both in another lifetime, and I sure like the ability to reboot when it doesn't work out.
It certainly makes things a little bit less stressful.
For sure.
Easy 684, contact Vancouver Center on 33.7. All right, and Alaska 1912 called ready for taxi, runway 29, info, Papa, altimeter 2980, taxi, JRJ, Bravo, Romeo, Foxtrot. Juliet, Romeo, Juliet, Bravo, Romeo, Foxtrot. And am I still connected, or did this connection drop again? It is connected again. Yeah.
I do miss the real world crew, flight engineer, though. I love three-man crews.
That gives you someone else to talk to if you don't like the FO as well.
Well, whenever you got a lot going on, that extra guy really makes a big difference.
Yeah, some days even two bodies is just not quite enough to get everything done that needs to be done.
For sure, I went from the DC-10 to the MD-11, and that was a culture shock.
Yeah, and now they're talking about, of course, getting rid of 2 pilots and trying to bring it down to 1, and I just think to myself, like, who are you going to really honestly bounce ideas off of? Like, the dispatcher sitting in a comfy chair somewhere, they're not going to have the same vested interest as someone sitting in the seat.
No, I think I'll pass on that when I go to one guy.
Yeah. The airlines are going to push for it hard, but I don't think that it's going to be a long time before that flies.
I would think so. I would think hopefully Alpha and some of the unions will take care of that.
They'll certainly push back against it. I know the airlines are going to push hard for it, but it's hard to find enough pilots to do work right now. But at the same time, like, that's not an excuse for not putting enough skilled bodies in the flight deck. Just offer more money and maybe people will come work here.
Just start paying a little better there. It'll get better.
That's the theory, but most airline executives seem to have missed the basic economics courses.
I understand.
As I start ranting on about, yeah. I feel like my channel has died here. Because I've had to restart the stream like 3 times, it has... I'm not sure if it's considered still the same stream, because even my stream that I'm trying to watch here, it looks like it kind of died there. There we go. Sort of came back now. Let's see here. What was I going to try and do here? Just going to try and keep an eye on the stream here, because like I said, like it keeps on dying.
In the real world, I would think this would all be non-radar up here, manual ATC, is that correct?
In the real world now, it's all becoming ADS-B, so even down low, unless you don't have a MODES transponder, you're pretty much visible in most places. But we did have radar going into Yellowknife, but yeah, a lot of the places once you get away from the airports would definitely be non-radar.
Okay, very good.
Not anymore. Now it's everybody's on all the time. ADS-B has come in a big way. Let's see who this guy is and get them to call me. I'll be a little bit disappointed if I can't continue streaming, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, like I said, like I'm a little disappointed if I can't get to work, but if I can't get to stay online consistently. I really would like to, but it is what it is. If I can't get
Edmonton radio, this is KLM 250, currently flight level 360 to flight level 390.
And Edmonton radio, sorry, KLM 250 Edmonton, you should still be with Moncton, I believe, here on, let's see here, 32.2.
My apologies, 132.2, KLM 250.
Have a good day. I was expecting a call, so I thought it was this guy, but it's not. Should assign some squawk codes to these guys as well, so when they call, I'm ready. FedEx 19. Is this guy maybe FedEx 19 that's coming across here? That's American. This guy could be FedEx 19. Let's see what's his routing here. Well, oh, here he is. Never mind, I see him. Wow, he's all the way over here. The size of this sector just blows my mind every time I see it. Every single time.
Is the weather up here normally just clear and cold?
Yeah, at least a couple more months. Just send the first officer out for the walk around, you'll be fine.
I understand.
That's my philosophy when it's too cold outside. Make the FO do it. Or wear a good parka. That's the other option, I guess. I have to say that, like, some of the companies I've worked for, the uniforms they give you when you're going outside in these winter mornings and, you know, relatively northern locales, very cold, and then they give you these jackets that, like, you know, they'd be fine if you were like walking to the subway in the city, but not good for walking around on the ramp, standing outside for any length of time when some of these frigid minus 30, minus almost 40-degree temperatures. Fortunately, the companies have started getting better about handing out proper, good parkas. Because otherwise, it's impossible. You can't survive outside with some of this clothing that they sent you in. All right, I'll give these guys a couple more minutes before I send them another contact me there, but. He's 50 miles away, he's doing 200 knots, so he's about 15 minutes away from the VOR. And he is direct to VOR? Yeah, he's direct to VOR, so that's fine. He'll set up for the course reversal. I do like that DC-6. It was fun to fly. It was just a little bit, and I did enjoy, like, I do have a video somewhere down on my YouTube channel of me flying up the west coast of California, just VOR to VOR to VOR, just dialing in the headings on the OPS, just flying with the autopilot, nothing more than the heading bug in the autopilot, and just dialing in one radio after another, intercepting the airways where they would meet. It was kind of fun. Kind of fun to kind of prove that you can still do it.
I realize it's clear up here. I'd like to go ahead and do the procedure turn on this, if that's all right.
Edmonton, good afternoon, American 344 Bravo.
At Texas Cargo 51, did you want to do the full procedure? Yeah, you want to do the full procedure VOR 16, correct?
That's correct. I'd like to go ahead and just do the procedure turn since I'm up here.
Enjoy the beautiful scenery. Texas Cargo 51, you're cleared Yellowknife Airport. Full procedure VOR runway 16.
All right, cleared Yellowknife Airport VOR 16. Approach Texas Cargo 51. Thank you.
And
Edmonton Center, good afternoon, American 344 Bravo.
American 344 Bravo, Edmonton, good afternoon. Squawk code 1004.
Squawk 1004 for American 344 Bravo.
Now, why am I seeing him? that should be about right. Something's not right here. Alaska 1912 Edmonton, contact me once you're airborne. The wind's 250, 11 gust 20, clear for takeoff, runway 29er. American 344 Bravo Edmonton, have you passed the EMSO intersection yet?
We are 10 miles from Amazon.
All right, American 344 Bravo. I'm not getting a radar target there. Just confirm for me that the transponder's on if you would. Should be coming in at that altitude.
All right. At this time, we are 8 miles from Amazon, flight level 310.
Should be able to see him. So you know what it is? This guy is this guy. I'll just look at my VATSIM and cheating here. American 344 Bravo Edmonton. Yeah, I'm not going to pick you up on radar just yet. Hopefully, as you get a little further east, you should come in here momentarily. In the meantime, maintain flight level 310.
All right. We'll stand by for radar and we'll maintain 310 for now. American 344 Bravo.
I feel like his transponder is not on. All right, Alaska 1912, you acknowledge clear for takeoff. Cargo Lux 97 Echo. We don't have Winnipeg online, do we? No, we do not. Here comes Alaska 1912. I see in the Vancouver FIR, we got a couple people getting ready to depart. We got two departures out of Vancouver. That doesn't help me at all. One departure out of Kelowna to Edmonton. That helps. One guy going from Penticton down to Abbotsford. That also doesn't help me. But one departure out of Kelowna, so we're going to have one more traffic here sooner or later. Monday afternoon, not exactly the best day for VATSIM ATCing, but what are you going to do? Pre-typing my text message to this guy because he's going to call me any second with his altitude. I hope. He's supposed to. And American 344 Bravo. I think I got you on the radar now. Just squawk ident for me, please. American 344 Bravo. Thank you very much. Identified at flight level 310. Welcome. He did not pop on my radar literally until the moment I called until he crossed the boundary. It's weird. Unless I have a Viz issue, but I shouldn't have a Viz issue because I can see lots of people over Alaska, so Viz is not an issue. No, it's just radar coverage. feel like something's not quite right there with my ATIS. Just gonna check. Oh, Edmonton. All right, last 16,000. I'm just trying to see. I know there have been in the past ATIS. Huh. Just trying to find because I can't seem to. It seems like something's not quite right with my ATIS, but I can't seem to find any information about it. Line info. VATSIM Town Hall. There was a VATSIM Town Hall? Oh. March 19th. Oh, I thought it said March 9th. March 19th, there's a VATSIM Town Hall in 5 days. I guess that's Sunday. That's good. Yeah. Let's see. Let me just try a search for ATIS because I just can't find if there's any. All right, let's see if I can find an answer because it's driving me nuts. Get this guy climbing. Climb FL360. This is what happens when you don't log into a sector too often either, is that things change and you're not up to date on the changes, which is also a little bit frustrating to kind of try and deal with here. So, all right. This is what I'm looking for. So how we supposed to do this now? Because it seems like it's changed from where it was before. Doesn't seem like there's anything exciting going on there. No, it should be just a standard thing to work, but it just doesn't seem to want to work with a very consistent letter. So, American 432. How do you read on voice?
Edmonton, American 432.
American 432, Edmonton. How do you read now?
Oh my goodness, yes, I hear you now. We're inbound ATC, flight level 370.
American 432, welcome aboard. Squawk code 0632.
0632, American 432.
Cargo Lux 97 Echo, Edmonton. You've left my airspace to the southeast. Winnipeg's not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates, and have yourself a good rest of the day.
Switching Unicom 1, thank you for the service. Lux 97 Echo, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. They give him higher. Well, not the most exciting afternoon. Bart 7172, what time in your country? Where I am right now, it's 4:30. In Edmonton right now, it's 2:30. So I am not local to this area, but yeah, here it's 2:30, so it's not that late yet. Seeing a lot of not seeing a lot of traffic yet because it's still very much middle of the afternoon in Edmonton, the VATSIM world. So we still got one guy scheduled to come into Edmonton. We got this guy circling around to go land in Yellowknife, and then we don't have much else happening right now. Hopefully we'll get some stuff happening soon. And American 432, I can't remember if I said it, but you are radar identified, flight level 370. Roger, he says. Send this guy off to Vancouver, I guess, because I ain't got nothing else to deal with him. Alaska 1912, contact Vancouver Center now, 133.7, and have a good one. Texas Cargo 51 is just coming overhead. Let's see if we can't get a tower view. Do I have a tower view for? Yep, there we go. There's tower. There he is, just coming overhead. And of course, to go hand in hand with tower, we're going to need ground. There he goes, he's going overhead. He's going to do the full procedure. Lose some altitude, turn around, and land again. And Alaska 1912 is off to 33.7. He got that message, good. And then there's not much. Edmonton is kind of a hit or miss sometimes. Sometimes it's very busy. Sometimes it's nothing but overflights. It seems like right now we're moving off into the we got nothing but overflights going on era. So hopefully that will not be. Hopefully that will not be the story of the evening. I got probably about 2.5 hours, I think, at most, and then I will have to pull the plug on what we're doing here in Edmonton. Give myself a little bit of time to have some dinner and basically get ready for bed because I've got to get up super early in the morning, got to go to bed super early. So, yeah. Unfortunately, like I said, not much going on, but certainly lots of interesting news coming down. Lots of aircraft in development right now for MSFS. I think it's going to be the next 12 months is going to be, even the next 6 months, there's going to be a ton of airplanes released. All of a sudden, you're going to have a huge variety of airplanes because right now it's still, this network is very one-sided. Half the people on this network at any given point in time are pretty much flying a 320. If I go to VATSIM here and just do flights, let's actually see this.
And Edmonton for American 344 Bravo.
American 344 Bravo, go ahead.
You have us now in the screen?
American 344 Bravo, affirmative. You're now identified flight level 310. Welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see here. If I pull up my, can't seem to find my stupid mouse here. There it is. If I pull my VATSIM across here. Let's see here. How many pages of 320? If I sort by equipment, got a couple of pages of blanks. But then, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 3.5, almost 4 pages of just A320 Neo. If you include some other A320s, which some of them probably are, so that's 4. It's about 4 more pages of A320s, and probably at least some of them are probably MSFS. So almost half the people on the network right now are flying 320s. And then another, probably a third of the people on the network are probably flying 37s. 320 is still outnumbering the 737. But I think that'll change with that PMDG release. You got a few Cherokees, a bunch of Dreamliners, triples, A330s, Dash 8s, Challengers, CRJs, but by far the dominant aircraft on the network for the last, I don't know, 3 to 6 months has been the A320 Neo because people are flying that fly-by-wire. It's free. Why not? Even when PMDG releases their aircraft, they're going to have a hard time competing with free, but then again, their airliner will probably be a much more advanced state of because you have an aircraft that's at a much more advanced state than the fly-by-wire. Fly-by-wire is still very much in development, and I don't think the development is going to finish anytime in the next couple of years, probably. It's going to be certainly a few years. There's tons of potential, and someone said it, and there is a ton of potential there, absolutely. But just, I don't see a whole lot of it's such a slow improvement process with the fly-by-wire. I don't see it being really, once alternatives are out there, like the 737, even the Phoenix 320, I think you're going to see the number of fly-by-wire 320 pilots out there definitely go downhill once we've got some more realistic. But it's sort of it's one of those cases of this is the best we can get right now. The fly-by-wire 320 is just about the best thing we can get right now in the sim. That and the CRJ, and certainly as far as freeware goes, the 320 is by far the best. And I don't think that's going to change in terms of freeware. So you're probably still going to see a lot of people flying that fly-by-wire 320 for a long time. But I think once PMDG comes out with their airplane, a narrow-body airliner, because the trouble with the CRJ is it's got relatively limited legs. It can't get all that far. Once you get the 737 out there, the Mad Dog out there, you're definitely going to see the 320 numbers start to drop. And it's not that they'll go away completely, but they'll just balance out a little bit more. Right now, the 320 is just a dominant airplane because it's the best one that's available. Actually, do you have any family outside of Canada? No, actually, that's not true. No, I do have a little bit of family outside of Canada in England, though. No family in the Slavic countries, unfortunately. All of my relations are here in Canada. He's doing the course reversal right now. Anytime now, he's going to swing right back around. I wonder if I can draw the approach on here. Let's see if I could draw this on here. CYZF. Scroll through my list here for oh yeah, I do have the VOR16. Let's see what this does here. There we go. Is that course reversal on the wrong side, or is he doing the course reversal on the wrong side? Where's my charts? Where's my charts? He is doing the course reversal on the wrong side. Oops. Oh well. I have no other airplanes out there, so I'm not going to complain too much for this guy right now. I am tired today, though. We did a basically min rest last night, so we had 10 hours exactly in a hotel. It was pretty short. By the time I had to wake up again and come to work, and it was, what time did I get up at this morning? 4:30 this morning. It was pretty short. I feel like he's not quite doing it. I think he turned the wrong way. I'm not sure if he's gonna. And Texas Cargo 51 Edmonton. Looks like you might be a little bit off course there. I think you did the course reversal on the wrong side. The airport's over at your 1 to 2 o'clock for about 7 or 8 miles.
Yeah, Texas 51, Roger, thank you.
And I'm sorry, I'm looking at this backwards. That's at your 10 to 11 o'clock for about 7 or 8 miles.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, Flare 8757. Oh yeah, he's the one coming up to Edmonton. Oh, that's just his. Yeah, because it almost looks like he's on the intercept heading, but he's on the wrong side of the VOR for the intercept. So, I mean, don't ask me. If you ask me to go and fly a full procedure approach using just the VOR these days, I would find that a challenge. I would definitely find that a challenge. I could do that back in the day when I was learning and that was all new, but I'm definitely feeling like now I'm not sure that I could do that anymore. So if he's having trouble with it, I chuckle, but it's as much a sympathetic chuckle as anyone. Not so much laughing at him as I'm kind of laughing like, yeah, I would be doing the exact same thing. I would not probably do well at this either. Looks like he's kind of got. And Texas 51. Yeah, you got the airport right there at your 12 o'clock in sight.
Yeah, we got the airport inside.
And did you still want to land runway 16 or swing around now for runway 10? Winds are showing 160 at 7.
160 will be fine.
Texas Cargo 51, Roger. And the altimeter is now 2985. You're clear to land runway 16.
Clear to land 2985, thank you.
He sounds a little tired. Maybe he's just getting up there. But it sounds a little tired, but like I said, I'm sympathetic. I am so tired today. I don't know why I'm doing this. Why am I streaming when I'm super tired? I should have gone to get another cup of coffee. I debated having a nap this afternoon, and I have to go to bed so early tonight. I have to go to bed in less than 4 hours. So I sort of like decided to just persevere. I'm like, I'm not going to bother trying to have a nap and then get up and go back to bed. I don't think I think that would push my ability to sleep way too far back. So at this point, I'm just going to just stick to doing a little bit of live streaming, a little bit of controlling, and once I'm happy and done with all that, log off, go to bed. No nap for me today, because tomorrow's even earlier. I gotta be up at basically 3:30 in the morning, which is just for me, especially for those of you guys that watch me often. You know, I'm more of a night owl. I tend to do stuff more in the afternoons, the evenings. If I have to go to bed before 11 o'clock, I consider that an early night. I've been on this kind of schedule for so long, and it's just such a shock for my system to have to get up so early in the morning and be awake and be functional at 6 in the morning, let alone before that. Yeah, my body's running out of steam today. But if anybody's got any questions about ATC or anything, please let me know. I'm always looking for something to talk about. I feel like I just did my other live stream, my flight live stream, just like 2 days ago. So I felt like I kind of talked a lot of my topics off, and I find it a bit of a challenge sometimes to find things to talk about for several hours, you know. And if there's ATC and things are happening and you know, there's airplanes to control and whatnot, then it's no big deal. You know, it's very easy. But when it's quiet like this, I'm always trying to find like topics to discuss and something to keep people interested. And because there's very little traffic today, unfortunately. It's not the best time of day. Over the next 1 or 2 hours, I think it'll really kind of pick up. I hope. And then I'll probably, like I said, I will probably log off. I'll probably log off in about 2 hours, maybe a little longer if we get a lot of traffic. But something in that neighborhood, I'm going to log off in about 2 hours because I have to get up super early. Crank it back onto final here. Cranking around, cranking around. He's doing it. He's doing it. This is not the prettiest approach in the world, but he's doing it. Oh, he's got it. He's got it. It's good. It's good. It's good. Oh, I shouldn't laugh. Yeah, I've had some adventures flying this DC-6 as well, so I'm sympathetic. I'm sympathetic. I laugh, but I laugh because, like I said, like I've seen this myself, so I'm sympathetic to his plight. Texas Cargo 51, welcome to Yellowknife. Backtrack runway 16 and taxi Alpha into the apron.
Fly the backtrack on 16, Texas Cargo 51. Thank you, sir.
All right, but the flare is airborne. He's coming to Edmonton, so let's start pulling up some information for Edmonton here because I don't have anybody inbound to Edmonton at all, do I? Let me just pull up my VATSPI just to confirm nobody's coming in or into Calgary, I should say. So I may swap the ATIS out of Calgary and put it over to Edmonton just to, yeah, I don't see anything here. Nope, nothing. Okay, good. So let's do that. Let's swap out the ATIS. Let's first of all pick a runway here. Edmonton, it's 190 at 6, so I guess we'll pick runway 20. We'll do runway 20 for arrivals and departures. And there we go. All right, and we've got Edmonton Kilo. Still a nice day there too. 170 at 6, visibility 10, few at 700 actually. Few at 700, but then scattered at 17,000. Temperature minus 3, dew point minus 4. It's not too cold there at least. So now we got ATIS up for Edmonton because we got Flair just departed from Kelowna coming up to Edmonton. So he'll be there in about 45 minutes. Good, good, good. Somewhat kind of interest, and hopefully we'll lure in a couple more airplanes over time here. Like right now, it's a good time to kind of be online because people are, you know, Europe is almost starting to fade out for the evening, but the North Americans are all starting to come home from work, from school. They're going to start logging on. We're going to start to probably see some of our airplanes log on here shortly. I hope. I hope. Kitchener ground. Because right now it's about as exciting for me as it is for you guys. Close that down. Yeah, I'm looking more and more at that airplane heaven DC-3 C-47 there on the Orbex website. I'm thinking I should just download those and install them, play with them a little bit. There's even a navigation sextant for those with the spirit to use one. Wow, that would take some dedication to try and try and navigate using a sextant. I wonder how accurate the star and moon positions are in the P3D sky. Whether that would be a valid, viable option or not. I feel like that might be stretching it. But again, like I'm so kind of intrigued by getting out of my comfort zone. That's why I'm the Concorde excites me. It really does excite me. It's something very different from the airliners. I mean, it is still an airliner in a lot of ways, but it like very different. I mean, it's first of all, like it harkens back to that flight engineer era. So three pilots. So you need you need a third person. You have a third operating station. You've got a lot of dials and gauges and everything telling you about the airplane in a very old-fashioned, for lack of a better word, way. Like nowadays, you get these MFDs, you get probably the same amount of information, but it's on a very um, easy to understand diagrammatic display where everything is sort of displayed there. The Concorde, the guy has this 10-foot like wall of like gauges. The flight engineer just had like an unbelievable amount of gauges to monitor all four engines. There's something like 13 or 14 fuel tanks in the Concorde, like ridiculous, because the fuel was used a lot to maintain the efficiency and maintain like a proper CFG. So the fuel will be transferred from the back to the front to try and bend back and forth, trying to maintain that center of gravity at the most optimal for different speeds. So incredibly complicated systems to try and set up and use, and I'm looking forward to try and challenge myself with that. You fly almost any of the modern airliners, they're really quite well set up, and they you know, almost everything that kind of came out on the P3D platform was mostly a two-pilot operation. Um, from the 737 to the 47400, 777, the A330s, these are all two-crew operations. A lot of the systems operation is automated. The flight engineer was replaced by computers. There's two pilots still flying the airplane, but the flight engineer's job was basically replaced by computers in terms of interpreting, managing data, managing systems, hydraulics, electricals, air conditioning, engines, managing all that. It used to be the flight engineer's job. Now it's all computers that do that automatically. So I'm intrigued to go back to flying an airplane like that where you need a third person to operate the systems because they're so complicated and they don't have the automation. So I think it's going to be fun. Obviously, covering great distances at Mach 2, we can do oceanic flights in a single stream without turning it into a mega stream, and I still have a hard time fathoming the fact that I did do these mega streams. Um, if you go back at my YouTube channel to like a year or two ago, I did these transatlantic live streams. Uh, right from Europe into North America, Toronto. I think we did to Amsterdam, I think, and I think I feel like we did to Nice, I think, all the way there and all the way back in the 330, live streamed the whole way. Now, mind you, I stepped out of the flight deck for quite a few periods of time. For if there was no ATC, I would step out of the flight deck for 2 or 3 hours because I can't talk for 8 hours straight. There's no way, there's no way I could do that. I would run out of things to say a lot sooner than that. But it blows my mind that I did those streams, and I did them. The whole thing was streamed live, so anyone who wanted to see the proof that we did that whole flight, it was there. It's all there logged. I haven't done anything quite that extreme in a while. But yeah, I mean, what we could do, like, we could go back to doing transatlantic flying and fly North America to Europe and fly it in a 3-hour stream using a Concorde. So that intrigues me as well. That's something that I definitely am willing to try. I definitely would like to try that, see that on stream. So that's I'm waiting for that 737, but I've got that $100 credit from buying the NGXU from PMDG. So that 737 is already paid for. I can spend money on another airplane. Of course, then the Mad Dog is also coming. That's also tempting as well. We'll see how it goes here. Happy Pi Day, everybody, as well. I saw that this morning. I forgot about it, but happy Pi Day. It's 3.14. It's Pi Day. Everyone have a slice of pie today. I do not have any pie with me. That would be nice. But I feel like I don't have anywhere here really I can go get pie that wouldn't cost me like less than like $13 for a slice of pie. Might be a little bit overkill for trying to celebrate Pi Day. Well, since not much is happening, I'll be right back in a minute here. Hey, look, an airplane. All right. Looks like Vancouver might be logging off, so get in here and get this airplane established. All right, I can probably close this down. He's gone, but I hope he enjoyed his flight. I should probably pull open. I've got Calgary here. After Calgary, let's pull open Edmonton. All right, there's Edmonton and
Edmonton Center, Flare 757 with you, flight level 310.
Flare 8757, Edmonton, good day. Flight level 310. Information in Edmonton is Kilo, plan runway 20.
We'll plan for runway 20, Flare 757.
200 miles, 150. He'll start down about 40 or 50 miles, I would estimate. So at least it's somebody to talk to. It's getting a little boring on this frequency. It's ironic that for such a large chunk of airspace, I have a hard time getting anybody to come fly through it. It's such a big airspace and nobody wants to fly through it. I'm just here by myself. Giant's coming. Giant's gonna come fly through my airspace. Thanks, Giant. That's about it. Oh, I can't wait to get that 747 in MSFS as well. Not the default the Dash 8 Intercontinental, but the PMDG 400. That's gonna be good. Although it's interesting to see that like Randazzo had a model of that 757 on his desk when he was doing an interview. And that, because apparently he only keeps models on his desk of aircraft that they're modeling. So that was like perhaps a little subtle preview of something that they're working on that they don't even want to talk about yet. That would be good. The 5.7 or the 6.7 would be two more airplanes that'd be really kind of intriguing to see come to this world, because no one's done a really good quality model of the 757, I think, ever for any of the sims, I don't think. There was the level D 6.7 for FSX, and that sort of has fallen by the wayside a long time ago. But yeah, I guess a 6.7 would also be a really good airplane to see kind of come to the various simulators. It's another underappreciated model, right up there with the A350 as well. All right, I think that's Giant right there. Let me just check my window. I think that is him. So let's just ping him up a little bit there. Get a squawk code for Giant ready. Flare 8757, Edmonton, when ready to send flight level 240.
240 when ready, Flare 757.
It's a long time these guys are going to be in my airspace for. Let's see here. Why do I not have that setting on? Display ETA at route points. That's what I want to see. There we go. So this American 344 Bravo is going to be in my airspace for the next 2 hours. Not expected to reach the end of my airspace until 2307. He's in my airspace for 2 hours. What about American 432 here? Likewise, what's going on here? Like, this guy seems to be... I guess it's because of the parallax error, because we're so far north, but it's funny that this guy seems like he's going to cover more ground in less
Good
time.
afternoon, Giant 80525 330.
Giant 8052 Edmonton, good day, squawk code 0757.
0757, Giant 8052.
Giant 8052 Heavy, thanks. Identified flight level 330. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
All right, I'm back to having 4 airplanes in my airspace again. Four, not 4. 4. That's how you do 4, right? I don't even know how to count. 4 airplanes in my airspace, and that seems to be all I'm able to sustain this afternoon. I got nobody else inbound to Calgary, nobody else inbound to Edmonton, nobody else inbound to my airspace at all. That giant guy is the one guy who's inbound, and that's it. Like, surprised that while Vancouver was here, we didn't get more. We did get a couple though. I mean, we did get this. So we did get 3 kind of here. We got this flare guy that's coming in. We had the Alaska come in and go back out. We had that Jazz 710 go out to Vancouver. So we did get 3 or 4 people inbound across the Vancouver Edmonton boundary once we were both online. So it definitely is a popular combination. It's a good, it's a good length of route. Vancouver to Edmonton's an hour and a half. Vancouver to Calgary, an hour and a half. So it's a good time. People can get flying. They can get into cruise for a little bit of time, but they're still like, keep it to a reasonable flight length. It's not like you're going like transcontinental and you're going to be on the network for 6 hours straight. So not like these guys are doing, these American guys up north. We're going to be on my frequency for a while. Guess I should also pull up the charts for Edmonton, because again, have not controlled here very much in a long time, so feeling a little out of it. Feeling definitely unfamiliar, but this is good. Like, this is a good chance for me to kind of refamiliarize myself with these various restrictions, the various stars and approaches that are available. So let's see here. RNAV Zulu runway 20. We got the RNAV Zulu or the RNAV Yankee. So we'll need him to tell us which one of those he prefers once he gets a chance to look it over and figure something out there. Oh, we got a live one. We got one on the ground in Calgary. Nice. We got one going to Abbotsford. Let's check his routing here. Ravma, accept Novar. Oops, there we go. That's what I was trying to do. Hope for. Okay, yeah, blue. Okay, cool. Cool. Go back to my charts here. Stampede 9 is jets only, right? Yep. So I gotta give him Calgary 7, I guess. All right, runway 29, Calgary 7. There you go. How far is he from Edmonton? He's only 98 miles. Yeah, should be starting down any moment now. Should be any moment. Don't even get anybody flying through my airspace here. Well, hopefully this encore is going to start to herald the beginning of the afternoon, people. And all these people will hopefully start coming down here and flying this stuff soon here, logging on and giving us something to do here. Yeah, I mean, talking about like what I was talking about earlier with single pilot airliner operations, I just don't see it. And maybe I'm willfully blind because I'm in the business, um, but I just don't see it. It's such a liability. I mean, going from 3 to 2 was
Edmonton Center, good afternoon. Encore 3233 is on the ground in Calgary, looking for clearance off to Abbotsford.
Encore 3233 Edmonton. Hello, you're cleared to Abbotsford via the Calgary 7 departure. Radar vectors ROVMA flight plan route. Departure runway 29er, squawk code 0177.
Cleared Abbotsford via the Calgary 7 departure, radar vectors Rosma, expecting normally 29 is squawking 0177 for Encore 3233.
Encore 3233, the readback is all correct. Pushback start up at your discretion and call when you're ready for taxi. Information is Quebec.
Call it back for taxi, we'll pick up Quebec 3233.
And Encore 3233, my mistake. I took down the Calgary 8s for the time being, but it's Cav okay anyways. Just a strong wind, 270, 17 gust 26. 12 degrees.
Copy all, thanks, 3233.
What a nice day in Calgary. Cav okay, 12 degrees. Nice. It's not quite 12 degrees here yet, but spring is coming. Oh, I'm so excited for spring. Of course, that being said, I'm probably going to be doing, once the weather actually starts to get nice, you'll probably see me doing less streaming. I will probably be spending more time outside and less time in the stream, which is, of course, I'm sure you guys are all going to be very disappointed, but this winter has been so long. So long. Flare 8757, descend 7000.
Descend 7,000, flare 757.
It's one of the longest winters in terms of just like never-ending snow and cold, I think. Feels like it's been cold for a long time, and certainly that snow that we got in January was crazy how much came down. It's almost all melted now with a couple of with the periodic warm days we keep having, but there is still like the base of it is still there. The snow that came down in January still has not completely melted away because there was just so much of it. But it is melting off pretty quickly now. These days are getting pretty warm, well above zero. Oh, spring is going to be here soon, I hope. All right, there's Encore way up there at the north end. Yeah, pretty much. I'm pretty sure that's where all the domestic gates are. It's where the dashes get shoved. It's just way there at the north end of the terminal. Here he comes down for the Esky arrival. Why don't I have the stars drawn on here? I should have the stars drawn on here. Let's see if we can pull them up. CYEG star 20. That's what I'm looking for. Eggs. Esky, Sox, Oilers, PSAC, T-Tag. There it is. Esky all the way in here. Yeah, there they are. Those are my 3 arrivals, or my 5 arrivals, I should say. Give me a bit of a better sense of where he's going to go. Flare 8757, Edmonton. When ready or when able, advise which approach you're planning for runway 20.
We're planning the RNAV Zulu runway 20 if it's able. Flare 757.
Flare 8757, Roger. Plan the RNAV Zulu 20.
Okay, we'll plan the RNAV Zulu 20, flare 757.
Just need to know which of those RNAVs you want. That's all I need to know. Because it'll be different waypoints, different transitions. It matters. It does. We got 1 departure out of Calgary. Hopefully we get more before we lose him off radar. Because otherwise we're just going to be sitting here watching these 3 guys fly through my airspace for the next 2 hours. This guy, Giant, let's see here. He's not going to leave my airspace for, yeah, well over 2 hours from now. 2113 here at Tovis, and then I don't even know what YYN is, but it's showing 2335 for that one. By then, I should be offline and just about starting to get ready for bed. Hence, I started my evening can of Coke a little early so I can get my caffeine rush now, keep myself going, and go to bed. I do get jealous of these American Arctics sometimes because it seems like Boston Center, well, I mean, Jamsheed's been online for 4 hours, so I shouldn't complain, but he's got arrival controllers online, but he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got at least 8 people in his airspace right now. The thing, being a smaller airspace, is because things are happening. Even Chicago's only got 2 people in the air, but 5 people on the ground. Atlanta, yeah, like it's not a lot of sectors, but like some of these sectors, like they do get a lot. Oh, it's Monday today, isn't it? Oh, it's Moncton Monday today. I forgot. It is Moncton Monday because it looks like we already have one person online down in Moncton. It's a little bit early still, I think, for Moncton Monday, but I think they usually get going in the next hour or so. But there is a Moncton Center controller online. I don't see too many people inbound to those Moncton airports yet right now. It must be, evening must be waning because like half an hour ago I checked VATSPI, there were 1,200 connections to the network. Now it's down to about 900. There's a lot of controller connections in Europe too. I see controllers in Budapest. Lots of tower and terminal controllers like everywhere, like Budapest, Krakow, Warsaw, Vienna. Tons of terminal controllers online in Europe. In North America, we tend to almost stick more to the center controllers than the radar controllers because, I don't know, people just seem to progress through that radar stage pretty quickly and move right up to the center controllers. There are quite a few, actually, now that I look around, there are quite a few radar controllers, quite a few tower controllers. Like, if you want to fly VATSIM right now, there's a bunch of options available to you. There, he's just reaching Esky now. So he turns to the right. Why is it not trying his routing correctly? He's Esky 2 departure, runway 20 transition. And yet it's only drawing him as far as, what is it, ARKit? AppKit? That's as far as it's drawing his route, and it's direct after that. It should be all the way up these fixes here. There's something not right with the sector file. And I should have the automatic downloads enabled, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, no, we do. Yeah, strange. Very strange. What's he flying in? The 737? It says he's flying V pilot. I'm trying to guess if he's an MSFS pilot or if he's a P3D pilot. How good would his sim be at going direct somewhere if I should just leave him on the route? I'm tending towards the leave him on the route right now. I don't know if I always believe in, I believe maximizing efficiency, but at the same time, like, I've got to know that this guy can do it. He's not like he knows what he's doing. I totally lost track of what I was doing there. I was looking up something. Just as quickly. My brain sort of wandered off there. I was looking up Edmonton and see what that transition is. It is Dudco, right? Yeah. Player 8757, proceed direct Dudco.
Direct Deadco, Flare 757.
He's got it. Oh, we got another one. Oh, we got a departure from Edmonton going to Calgary. Okay, good. We got some interest because I'm honestly I'm starting to get a little bored. I'm tired, and when I'm getting bored, when I'm tired, I start to kind of just give up, stop paying attention to what I'm doing here. So let's see here. We got this guy. He's got 190 anted Q93 adfox for the adfox 8. I believe that is correct. Let me just go back and check here. I'm pretty sure that is correct. Nope, jet aircraft only. Nope, it's the Flame 6 this guy's got to do. Unless he's flying that miraculous jet power Dash 8. All right, but at least we got something more to look at here. Flare 8757, descend 4,000.
Descend 4,000, Flare 757.
5,000. And Flare 8757, my mistake, descend 5,000.
No problem, descend 5,000, Flare 757.
Oh, we got a second one on the ground in Edmonton. All right. Woo! Now I'm starting to get excited. Things are actually starting to happen. And, yeah, I just had to make it through that hump to the point where everyone gets home and starts looking online and saying, hey, what can we do today? What's going to be fun? Well, we crossed that hump and we are there now. Had 3 airplanes active in Edmonton at the same time here. Nice. Flare 8757, you're cleared Edmonton Airport, RNAV Zulu, runway 20, Dudco transition.
Sorry, can you repeat that? You cut out.
Flare 8757, Edmonton, you're cleared Edmonton Airport via RNAV Zulu, runway 20, Dudco transition. Almost at 30. Am I cutting out again?
Okay, we're clear to Edmonton, RNAV Zulu for 20, Dudco transition.
Roger.
Edmonton Center, Encore 3233 is ready for taxi to 29.
Encore 3233, Edmonton, the Calgary altimeter 2980, runway 29er. Taxi apron, your discretion. Hotel Bravo. Actually, let's make it just out. Let's make it actually out Hotel, Golf, and Foxtrot to hold short 29er.
Apron our discretion, Hotel, Golf, Foxtrot, holding short of 29 for Encore 3233.
I am not used to this configuration. Runway 29er is just like popping my eyes out here. It's good. It's so interesting to see something different though, and there's going to be some interesting stuff happening this year. I just read today that Toronto's shutting down runway 24 right for a major rehabilitation. So that runway is going to be shut down. That is like their primary runway, especially for arrivals, and that runway is going to be shut down for anywhere from 3 to 6 months this summer, while they do a full refurbishment of everything right down to the subgrade. For that runway, so that's going to be that's going to kind of throw a little bit of interest and then throw some different configurations we're not necessarily used to anymore. So that's going to be fun. And Montreal is already, as effective today, is also down to a single runway operation. They are once again, for like the 5th time in 3 years, repaving runway 24 right in Montreal. So 24 right is going to be closed until June. So it's going to be a single runway operation. Sorry, did I file my flight plan wrong? Trifix 1X.
Edmonton Center, Cargo Jet 151, radio check.
Cargo Jet 151, Edmonton, read you 5. And, sorry, Trifix, are you the Encore 3725? If that's you, the only thing that was wrong with your flight plan is just that the arrival you filed for Calgary is a jet-only arrival. So it's supposed to be the Flame 6 arrival if you're flying a non-jet. It's the same route, but it has different altitude restrictions for
Cargo Jet
turboprop
151,
aircraft.
do you copy, sir?
Cargo Jet 151, I've got you 5x5. How do you read me? Oh, you're the flare. Oh, nope. Your flight plan was fine. Flare's flight plan was fine.
Cargo Jet 151, thank you very much. Read you 5x5.
Okay, there we go. Stream title might be outdated. Monday, March 14th, 3502. Why? What does it say for the stream title? I updated it to say, oh, you know what? I don't think I did. I don't think I hit the done button. I typed in the new title. And then, yeah, so now it is at the Edmonton Center. Sorry, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. I've been online for almost 2 hours and nobody pointed out that my stream title still said Toronto on it. So thank you for that. Oh, mercy. Information Lima. Yep. Okay, good. Yeah, thank you for that. Sorry. Yeah, looks better now. Perfect. Super muskox. That's a good chat name too. A super muskox. Not just any muskox. Super muskox. No, Flare, that was fine. I just gave you direct just to sort of shortcut you a little bit. And and it looks like you went through. And Flare 8757 looks like you went past Dudco there. Turn right. Turn right heading 120 vectors for final. And Flare 8757, if that was you, it was carrier only, but right turn 120 to join, and I'll vector you to final. Looks like you went past Dudco, so approach did not activate properly. Still only carrier. And in the meantime, I'm going to try and figure out where CYQU is because I have no idea. CYQU. Oops. Ah.
Center Encore 3233 is short of 29.
Encore 3233, Edmonton, contact me. Airborne, the wind's 26011, gusting 21, clear for takeoff, runway 29er.
All right, you cut out there. I mean, I guess you said contact the airborne and clear for takeoff 29 for Encore 3233.
You got it. Flare 8757, fly heading 170 for the intercept and clear the straight in RNAV Zulu, runway 20.
170 for the intercept, cleared straight in, RNAV Zulu 20, flare 757.
Chat's always so inconsiderate, nobody pointing these things out. Yeah, nobody pointed out my failings. Come on, guys. I thought you guys would be all over this. All right, I don't even know what CYQU is, to be honest. I don't know that airport identifier at all, so I'm going to look it up. CYQU. Grand Prairie. There is a Grand Prairie 1 departure. It is an uncontrolled airport, so he can pick his own departure runway. Just Walker 1262. Get him a squawk code. I don't care what runway he departs off of.
And Edmonton for American 344 Bravo.
American 344 Bravo, go ahead.
Yes, for American 344 Bravo, I'd like to request level 330.
American 344 Bravo, approved. Climb flight level 330.
Okay, we're cleared to climb level 330, American 344 Bravo.
Center Encore 3233 is passing 4.5 at heading of 285.
Encore 3233 Edmonton, thanks. Identified. Climb 16,000.
16,000 Encore 3233, and I did realize that we have the wrong squawk code. We'll change that now then.
I was just about to say that. Squawk 0177, Encore 3233. Not too many departures out of Calgary, so I kind of figured he was who he said he was. Didn't look at it too closely because I'm not like I said, not too many departures. It's not too busy right now. I'm going to close this 17 view because nobody's landing and departing 17, so just one less view to look at. There we go. Encore 3233. Thanks. That's looking better now. Through 6500, turn left, direct Novar on course.
Left direct Nova on course. Sorry about that. Encore 3233.
No problem. 6,000. That's what I gave him. Get that in there. Cargo jet came. Cargo jet went. Flare 8757. Edmonton winds 160 at 8. Clear to land. Runway 20.
Cruise land 20, flare 757.
All right, so Walker 1262 wanted to know if I'm up. I'm guessing he's trying to call me on voice and get no joy down there on the ground of Grand Prairie, so. In which case I may have to give him his clearance by text. Grand Prairie IFR to Calgary. All right. Sorry, typing out a text clearance here. I'll read it out in a second. If I can spell prairie, that'd be helpful.
Edmonton Center, Encore 3725 with you. How do you read?
Encore 3725, read you 5.
Okay, not sure what was happening there. Good afternoon. We're on the ground at gate 49E at Edmonton here, looking for clearance IFR to Calgary, please.
Encore 3725, stand by. I'll be back with you in just a moment. Vectors on course. Squawk 0151. Valid now, cancelled. If not airborne by, let's give him. There we go. All right, so I gave Walker 1262, Grand Prairie winds 290 magnetic at 3, altimeter 2962, clear to Calgary by the Grand Prairie 1 departure, vectors on course, squawk 0151, and the clearance valid now cancelled, not airborne by 2145 Zulu. And let me just put that in his scratch pad here, if I can do it. All right, Encore 3725, thanks for the patience. You're cleared to, let's see here, you're cleared to Calgary via the Hampo 1 departure, radar vectors anted, Q826 to Advox, and then the Flame 6 arrival. Departure runway 20, squawk code 0370.
Okay, Edmonton clears Encore 3725 to the Calgary Airport via the Hampo 1 departure. Vectors to, oops, forgot the first fix there, and Quebec 826 to Advox, the Flame 1 arrival, and runway 20, and say again the squawk code.
Encore 3725, the first fix is anted, Alpha November Tango India Delta. It's the Flame 6 arrival, and it's squawk 0370.
Okay, vectors to anted, the Flame 6 arrival, and squawk code of 0370 for Encore 3725.
Encore 3725, that readback is all correct. Information, Lima is current in Edmonton. Start up at your discretion and call ready for taxi.
Okay, we'll give a call on your taxi, and now we do have Lima on board. Thank you.
All right, and Walker 1262, his readback was correct, so switch to Unicom for departure, call me this frequency airborne. Flare 8757, welcome to Edmonton. Taxi Bravo Victor and apron at your discretion.
Bravo Victor, apron at our discretion, Flare 757.
Encore 3233, climb flight level 200.
200, Encore 3233.
All right, Walker's clear, departing. Calling airborne Walker 1262. Okay, cool. It's going to call us airborne. Now it's starting to get a little more interesting. Now there's things happening. And I honestly, I was like getting just about ready to pass out. It's been such a long day and I was getting kind of tired there. So kind of good that things are starting to happen. It's getting my brain working because when my brain was running out of things to do and things to talk about, I was running out of energy as well. All right, we got a few guys here. Got still these 3 guys. Like I said, these guys are going to be here with me pretty much until the time I'm just about ready to log off. This guy's still got a little over an hour, about an hour left on my frequency. This guy's got an hour and a half, and this guy's got in an hour and a half, probably about an hour and 45 minutes, almost 2 hours till he's out of my airspace. It doesn't even look like that far, but you're just zoomed out so far. You know, I mean, Edmonton to Calgary, this is like a 45-minute to an hour flight. This is 150 miles right here. These guys have got, this guy's got 800 something miles till he leaves my airspace. Even at 500 knots, it's still an hour and a half. All right, so we got the flare inbound. We got the Encore. We're just going to park anywhere. The Circana 168. But and then we'll get this guy airborne hopefully around the same time as, well, maybe a little bit after this Walker gets airborne from Grand Prairie, and we'll have a couple of arrivals at Calgary at the same time. Best followers, primes, and viewers on mountviewers.com. No, thank you. If you're not watching my channel knowing what it's about, you're not going to enjoy it. It's something you have to enjoy to watch this channel. It's not something you just sort of pick up. I mean, maybe you could. But it strikes me as something more. It's something you would go out looking for. It's not something you're going to kind of stumble upon and say, gee, I should be watching that channel. Let me subscribe right now. Just looking at some of the insights of how many people have been watching the stream so far. It started out pretty strong and then sort of petered out, and it's now it's sort of stabilized at about 3 people watching here, unfortunately now. Not as exciting. But we still got a couple hours left before I finish off here, so hopefully we'll get a little bit more going on here. Too bad Vancouver left too, because I think that would have probably really helped get a few more people, but all the more fun. So this is Walker 1262, if he's squawking the correct code. He's not airborne yet, actually. That's just his ghost. His ghost target based on the scheduled departure time, so that's not him yet. Flare is gone. Air Canada 168 appears to be pushed back off the gate, I think. We're going to keep an eye on this guy and see if he starts taxiing without talking to anybody here, because I feel like that could happen momentarily. That developer seems to develop mostly Canadian airports. I'm kind of interested in picking up CYXY, but I prefer buying at the marketplaces like Orbex and Contrail. And which developer? Sorry, I obviously missed something here. Oh, do you have any experience with the sim add-ons scenery? Oh, okay, sim add-ons. Yes, sorry. Yes. Yes, I do. The one thing I'll say about sim add-ons is that I feel like what can I say about sim add-ons? Sim add-ons, very small developer. It's basically just one guy who works on a bunch of Canadian airports. He's got a soft spot for Canada. It's funny because he's based in like Switzerland, so I don't know where he got this weird soft spot for Canadian airports, but he did. Um, I got a lot of his airports in the P3D world. I got his airport packs east, central, and west. They added a large variety of airports to the sim that I didn't have before, especially Canadian airports, which is hard to find. There's not a lot of developers doing Canadian airports. There's starting to be more now, especially in the MSFS. FSIM Studios kind of really has come up a long way and really focuses primarily on Canadian airports, but not a lot of developers focus on it. So I can understand you want to do that. I have to say, like sim add-ons in P3D, his scenery was fantastic. It was really good, really high end. Didn't always play well at night. The textures were good for the daytime. Sometimes they looked a little bit. The night was not really all that good. The textures would kind of he just put like a really bright like texture on a wall and called it a window, and it was very it looked very kind of cheap and toy-like at night, unfortunately, which is a shame because he did spend a lot of time doing like custom models for all these buildings and all these terminals, and the textures during the daytime usually look pretty good, but the textures at night, they weren't so good. Um, that being said, most of what he's brought into the P3D or into the MSFS world, as I've seen it, it looks like it's just ports of his P3D stuff, and you really can't just take a P3D scenery and up and port it into MSFS. The overall standard of graphics in MSFS is so much higher. You can't just take like a blocky kind of relatively low resolution texture building from P3D and drop into MSFS and sell that. You've got to spend some time tweaking, improving the textures, using the materials. I found what I've seen the pictures. I haven't actually bought any scenery from MSFS. What I've seen the pictures, it doesn't look like you really did.
Center one car 3725 is ready for taxi runway 20 with Lima.
Encore 3725 Edmonton. Can you get around that Air Canada off to your north there, or do you want to head out on maybe pop right to your west there?
Yeah, I think we'll be all right. Just headed north, I think.
Okay, Encore 3725, runway 20, information is Lima, altimeter 2973, exit the apron, whichever way works best for you, taxi Bravo.
Okay, we our discretion and onto Bravo for runway 20 for 3723, thanks.
Yeah, his sceneries have not ported over well into MSFS because it's such a higher fidelity sim that they don't look as good. Now, if you're interested in one particular airport, I'd say maybe go reach out and buy that one airport and try it out and see. The nice thing is like in P3D, he packaged all of his airports into 3 packages. You had the Canada East, Central, and West, and each pack was about 50 or 60 bucks, but you got like about 10 airports for it. So each pack was a good deal as a whole when you kind of looked at the number of airports you got. And then the airports we picked was a fantastic array of, kind of mid-tier airports in each region. So airports that, if you were flying airliners, you would probably fly them there a fair bit. So I felt like each pack individually was a pretty good pack. And the price, because of the number of airports you got, it was a pretty good deal. But now he's switched to selling the individual airports. I don't know. I just don't feel like they're quite as good quality as they should be. Now, if you're really desperate to kind of see something like Whitehorse in the sim, you're probably not going to see a whole lot of other developers work on Whitehorse. To be honest.
Apologies, I didn't see you there. It's Air Canada 168. We just pushed back at Edmonton looking for IFR clearance to Toronto.
Air Canada 168, not a problem at all, sir. You're cleared to Toronto via the Hampo 1 departure, vectors to Jet 515 on course. Depart runway 20 and squawk code 0432.
Okay, clear to Toronto, Hampo 1 departure, then we'll expect vectors to get on Jet 515. We'll plan for runway 20 and 0432 in the box, Air Canada 168.
Air Canada 168, that readback is correct. Information Lima is current in Edmonton, and let me know when you're ready for taxi.
Okay, will do, Air Canada 168.
Yeah, so I would say at this point, because he's packaging them up individually, you're not going to be out a whole lot. Um, Maybe buy the one like the one scenery you want, like White Horse. Try it out, see what you think. I think you're probably gonna be a little bit disappointed. It's just not as good as it could be in MSFS. The scenery, the bar for scenery has been moved higher. That being said, again, like I said, you're not going to see a whole lot of people put out Whitehorse. There's not going to be. I don't think you're going to see anyone else probably do it, to be honest. So if you really want to have Whitehorse, it's not just default models. You might have to go for it and kind of put up with that model. Like I said, it's. I feel bad because I've talked to the guy personally, and I know he puts in effort, and it's not his full-time job. He's just does on the side for fun, creates these sceneries. So I don't want to put him down too much, but MSFS is a new platform, and it really needs a higher level than what we were operating at. What we were operating at in P3D. No developer's been able to get away with just a straight port. Really, you have to take some time to go through it again. Yeah, exactly. If you really want it, like he's a good guy. He makes good models. The texturing's not bad. It's not going to be as high quality as you would see in most of the other models, but if you really want that airport, if it's your home airport, you really want to see it, then I would say probably spring for the money. I don't know what he's charging now for an airport. But he does support his products too. Like I'll say that, like he supports his products. I've had issues with him. Um, Issues with things not being able to install in the past, things like that. So he does support his products. So it's not like he never, he takes your money and runs. He definitely wants to support the product. So yeah, I'm not sure what he's charging now for the MSFS world here. What is he charging now? CYXY 16.99 Swiss francs, which I think works out like $20, $23 Canadian. So it's not cheap. I mean, that's a fairly that's on the MSFS world. That's starting to move into the pricier side of scenery. Hate manual installs though. So used to come bought by the third-party apps which do the installing. Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. And when it comes to airports, if you got a certain airport in mind, you got to take what's out there sometimes. Oh, all right, so I see the guy. I see he's airborne here.
Edmonton Center, Air Canada 168 with Lima ready to taxi runway 20.
Air Canada 168 information is Lima, the altimeter 2973, runway 20, taxi out the apron at your discretion, and Bravo.
Apron our discretion, Bravo, hold short 20, Air Canada 168.
Yeah, Walker 1262 Edmonton, do you read me on voice? All right, I don't think he did, but we got him the right code, idented, direct advox, flight level 390. Oh, of course, not quite at the runway yet, but he's getting close. We got a little bit of interest now. We got a couple guys inbound to Calgary. This will make for a little bit more fun. I emailed the guy about the scenery a while ago about the colors being off in the screenshots. He sent me a screenshot back of being the correct colors, but he hasn't updated on the site. Feels kind of sloppy to me. He's a one-man operation. At the end of the day, I think he's put more focus on the scenery than on necessarily maintaining the website. The website is definitely not like a modern, fantastic website, but he does it all himself. As far as I can tell, he's a one-man shop. Puts the scenery out there for sale, designs the scenery, makes the scenery, and then puts it out there for sale himself. So, as I recall, you had to PayPal him the money, I think. Yeah, very small shop, but Canada's a weird, like it's a niche market. Like as much as there are so many people who live here, it's not a big market at the end of the day, certainly in the flight sim world. So, yeah, at the end of the day, you're supporting the scenery developer directly. You're also not taking that 30% and padding the pockets of Sim Market and Orbex just for listing the software too. So all that money that you pay is going directly to support this guy. So yeah, he definitely is not making a full-time career out of it. Some of these developers, it is a full-time job maintaining these
And center
operations.
Encore 3725, splitting short, runway 20, Bravo, ready to go.
Encore 3725 Edmonton, contact me once you're airborne. The wind's 160 at 8, clear for takeoff, runway 20.
Check the winds, clear takeoff, runway 20, and we'll give you a call in the air, Encore 3725.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is he's a one-man shop. He's a scenery developer. First of all, he's not a commercial platform creator. So the website's very simplistic, but at the same time, because the focus is on the scenery, I feel like the effort has. I feel again. I mostly feel because like for people who learned how to develop stuff in P3D and make good looking realistic scenery models, textures, everything in P3D, and then to move on to the MSFS world and have to relearn everything in order to re-release the sceneries. I understand the frustration in that. I really wish he would have taken the time because it seems like he just quickly ported everything over to MSFS without improving the texturing and taking a chance to look at the models again. He ported a whole bunch of airports over to MSFS, and it feels like they're at this point they're kind of not really worth what he's asking for. They're not up to the MSFS standard. That being said, again, if you only want one airport, you really got to have Whitehorse. I'd say it's probably worth it. And maybe he will take some more constructive feedback, and you can help him improve it in the future. But certainly, as a wide variety of airports that you might want to have in Canada, I don't think that Sim add-ons is as worth it as it was in P3D. Unfortunately, that's my honest opinion. I feel bad because I've talked to the guy. I know he's just a one-man operation, but it's not keeping up. And there's a few developers that are like that. He's not the only one by any means. MSFS changed the equation, changed the way developers have to work, the pipelines they have, and the tools they have to create their scenery, and I mean, a lot of these guys, it took them like, easily probably a couple of years to really kind of learn and how to finesse the scenery and make it look really good in the sim. And to have to do that again.
Center Encore 3725, airborne, runway 20, and Hampo 1 through 3,500 for 6,000.
Encore 3725 Edmonton, identified through 4,000, climb 16,000.
Up to 16,000 for Encore 3725.
Yeah, I feel for these guys because like a lot of them, they spent years kind of learning their craft, learning how to make a really good looking airport in MSFS, or I mean in P3D, and then MSFS just came and changed everything, and they had to basically relearn a lot of the skills from scratch again. And some people I think didn't really have the time to put in the effort. The other one that really kind of it bugs me because he was good and he sort of has not moved forward with the times is FSX Scenery, who makes tons and tons of kind of lower to mid-tier airports across North America, tons and tons of them, churns them out like crazy, doesn't charge a whole lot for them. In the P3D world, they were decent quality scenery. There were custom models, some custom texturing, decent models. They weren't fantastic, but they were better than the defaults. You definitely got the feel of the various airports. But then he's moved on to the MSFS world, but he's still operating at that same P3D level. He's released a lot of stuff for MSFS, but he's operating at the same level he was in P3D. The textures are not keeping up. The models are not as good. It's a noticeable decrease in quality sometimes from the default airports, unfortunately. Encore 3725, proceed direct to Antid on course.
Okay, direct to Antid on course for Encore 3725.
He's not quite there yet. Close. I feel bad. I hate bad mouthing scenery sometimes. Because I know in most cases it's a labor of love. Oftentimes it's very small development houses, and the smaller the development house, the harder time I have trying to being critical, and I don't want to be too negative on these guys because I know they work hard to try and do their best and make these things look good. Encore 3233 Edmonton, you're about to leave my airspace to the west. Vancouver's no longer online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. Have a good day.
Altitude advisory, thanks for the coverage. Sounds good as well. Encore 3233.
Air Canada 168 Edmonton, contact me once you're airborne. The wind's 160 at 8. Clear for takeoff, runway 20.
Good for takeoff 20. Air Canada 168.
All right, so we got a dash out of Edmonton, and we got the Walker out of Calgary, and they're probably going to get there at kind of a similar time because the Walker's in a 3.7. He's doing 490 knots. This guy's going to do about 360. I think Encore will get there first, but Walker will definitely be catching up in behind too. Just have a quick little look at VATSIM, see if anybody else is inbound. Oh, we got a west wind coming in from the south. Just looks like he took off from Salt Lake City. He may or may not make it to Calgary before I call it quits here. At the end of the day, still not even much overflight traffic. Usually Edmonton, you get a lot of kind of polar overflights, but not as many overflights. I wonder if the long hauling is just not as popular as it used to be without good airplanes in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I hope he does a sale sometime in the future. That would definitely make my decision easier. He does periodically. If you're on his mailing list, you usually only find out about it if you're on his mailing list. He doesn't do a lot of advertising. He's not in any third-party stores, so the only way you'll find out about it, is if you're on his mailing list. Encore 3725, climb flight level 190.
Up to 190, 3725.
I honestly can't remember the last time I saw he had a sale, but I'm pretty sure he does periodically have a sale. So well, I'm going to search for you. I'm curious as much as anything else. See what I can find here, because I think he does have a sale, but like it's pretty rare. It's like once or twice a year, kind of deal. Sim add-ons. Well, and again, I don't think there's like a mailing list per se, but if you bought from him, then you're on his list. Let's see here. Hold on, I'm just checking here because I swear he's had. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. I swear he's every once in a while he has a sale. I think he had like a holiday sale a couple times. Maybe it's not in the email. It was just yeah, he does every once in a while. I found one here in the VATSIM forum, the community forum there. They had an Oktoberfest sale like 2 years ago, but 50 to 60% off. So every once in a while you will find one. 33% off New Year's sale. So he does have periodic sales. Stay-at-home sale. They had a stay-at-home sale when COVID all started. So he was given 30% off for a little while.
Center, good afternoon. Air Canada 166 airborne, passing through 3.8.
Air Canada 168 Edmonton identified. Climb 16,000.
16,000, 168.
Yeah, so it's it's hard to make a profit when I can't allow them to spam me with ads. Yeah, and the one thing I'll suggest, the one tip I'll give you, because it's worked for me, if you go to the VATSIM forum and just subscribe only to the Bargain Hunter forum. That's the only one I'm subscribed to. Go to VATSIM, subscribe to Bargain Hunter. You'll get little hints to the hundreds of sales, because some sales are pretty well publicized, and the developers and the stores send out email blast to all their customers. Some of them are pretty quiet behind the scenes. It might just be the developer sent out an email to just his list of customers, not necessarily open to the public, and So I found out about all sorts of sales and things like that. So VATSIM Add-ons does publish, and he publishes his sales in that forum as well. So go to AvSim, go to the Bargain Hunters forum, and just subscribe to that forum. Get notified about any new topics in that forum, and you'll find out about all sorts of sales that sometimes don't come through any other means other than just people posting, "Hey, this guy, I was just on his website. I noticed this guy has a sale." Because that's how I found out about all the SIM add-on sales. He does have sales every once in a while. I don't think he's had one for a couple of years now, but it's been kind of quiet, especially with MSFS. But Air Canada 168, turn left direct camera on course.
Left direct camera on course, Air Canada 168.
Yeah. I think they have a forum on their website as well. I'm just searching through everything I've written here. Everything I've read here. He has put out a lot of airports for MSFS for Canada, that's for sure. Castlegar, Deer Lake, Edmonton, Iqaluit, Fredericton, Hamilton, Halifax, Nova Scotia Small Airports Pack, Fort Mac, Ottawa, Moncton, Thunder Bay, Rockcliffe, St. John, Winnipeg, Saskatoon, Prince George, Whitehorse, Calgary, Charlottetown, St. John's, Comox, Victoria, and now he's bundled them up again too. Oh, hey, he's gone back to bundling them as well. Because there's some that I would like to have. I wouldn't mind like a Saskatoon, something kind of out west, but yeah. You can check out each one if you want. See what it looks like. I just feel like the texture's kind of... Might just mail them to put me on the list then. All of my other purchases go via the retailers, I'm afraid. No, and I get that. Like, I use my Sim Toolkit Pro. Every time I buy a scenery, you could actually have it in Sim Toolkit Pro where you can add that to your... You can actually add a list of airports that you have scenery for, so that it shows up on your live map, and you can kind of look around and say, hey, which of these airports can I fly to? What have I not flown to recently? You can kind of see everything on the world map. It's kind of a nice way to see it as well. But yeah, otherwise it becomes impossible. I had a whole list of stuff for P3D. My list was ridiculous, and I would forget all the time what airports I had bought. Like I got so many of those when Sim Market was having their free stay-at-home giveaways. I forgot all the time what the airports I had, because I just every day go and click and get a new airport, and I wouldn't visit half of them because I just wouldn't have the time, and I'd forget that I even had them. Air Canada 168, climb flight level 330.
Up to 330, Air Canada 168.
All right, that's it for people in Edmonton, so I'm going to go back and switch my ATIS to Calgary. Because I might as well get these people... All right, Calgary, it's now Romeo. Encore 3725 Edmonton. Information of Romeo in Calgary. Plan runway 29er.
Okay, we'll plan runway 29 for Encore 3725. Thank you.
All right, number 29er, flame 6, perfect. Okay, and check those charts. See, and now I'm looking at his Edmonton MSFS, and it doesn't look as bad as some of the ones I looked at originally. I was not super impressed with, but it actually doesn't look half bad now. It looks like he did up his game a bit. I think the first couple he released didn't look that good, and he's really kind of improved his technique since then, I hope. Because it actually doesn't look too bad. It would be nice to have some of these airports out west. Castlegar, Kootenay. because he did like this is one thing like I'll give him, and I missed a lot of the airports. He had most of Canada covered quite well. Oh, it actually looks like he's done a lot better job. The first couple that I saw did not look really that good. The texturing did not that good. It looks like he's improved quite a bit his technique since the first couple. You know, I might change my mind. I didn't know that VAT can use Euroscope. Nice, I can understand something now. Yep, absolutely. I've been using Euroscope for a long time now. It's yeah, it's just so flexible. It makes it quite easy to simulate the Canadian system. Let's just get where's my charts gone here? Calgary charts gone. And Encore 3725 Edmonton, when ready to send 12-1-2000, the Calgary altimeter 2980, and when able, say your planned approach into Calgary.
Okay, when able down to 1-2000 discretion, and we copy 2980. We'll plan the ILS for 29. See how this thing can handle it.
All right, ILS 29 it is, Encore 3725. Yeah, now that I'm looking through his website again, I was not impressed with the original screenshots. It seems like it's gotten better. Yeah, possibly not. And again, one man show. I'd rather he put the time into the scenery. But the trouble is, yeah, like then if he doesn't, what am I trying to say here? If if he doesn't improve the screenshots on the website, he's not going to sell much scenery. Is that downtown Halifax? Yeah, it looks like downtown Halifax. I'm just scrolling through his screenshots now. And they don't look half bad. Some of them don't look half bad now. Like they definitely look like he's improved his technique since the first few. The first few ones, I just was not terribly impressed with some of the screenshots I saw. But yeah, hopefully he's gone back and improved them because, like I said, like I want to support this guy. He did a really good job with some of the older scenery he's done. So it would be nice to support him and keep going here because he's got such a wide variety too of airports. Let's see here, Deer Lake. Show me Deer Lake. Yeah, looks about right. There's not much there. That's a pretty cheap and easy one. Charlottetown. Yeah, Charlottetown looks pretty nice. It's the night where like MSFS really kind of shows the difference between people who really understand the modeling and the texturing and people who don't. Night is definitely where what makes the difference, I think. Saskatoon. Comox, Victoria. Victoria's another one that's wow, that Victoria actually, he's got a lot of detail out on the land side. Anyways, the air side's kind of plain. Could use some greener grass, I think, but most of the grass textures are just brown. Just brown. It's fine. Maybe I should go back. I kind of I sort of passed them off because some of the screenshots I saw just did not look very impressive, but it's starting to look more impressive again. So maybe I should go back and look again. You can see he has wins. Oh, he has VGDS working. See, most people do not have VGDS working yet. Even Fly Tampa, I was a little bit disappointed they don't have their VGDS working in Toronto yet, because that was one that was in all over P3D. Was their VGDS was working just fine in P3D, so it's a little disappointed not to see that. Walker 1262 Edmonton.
Go ahead for Walker 1262.
Hey there, I got you on voice. All right, information in Calgary is Romeo, runway 29er for arrivals today.
Check Romeo, and we'll plan the ILS for 29 for Walker 1262.
Walker 1262, retro push down for the ILS. What did you say? Check the inside tab. Yes, I think I remember he had the VGDS also working in the P3D versions. But yeah, I was a little disappointed to see that water lift. That's funny. In-ground service stations fully automated. Like he did do a lot of kind of neat little gimmicky things in the P3D world. He had de-icing trucks. Like you could he'd have like an external program you'd run, and you could activate the de-icing trucks and snow plows and stuff like that, moving through scenery. So there's kind of a lot of neat little. I hate to say the word gimmicky, but a little bit gimmicky stuff in some of his scenery. But yeah, working VGDS, that's kind of nice. I already have the Halifax from VATSIM Studios now, so I don't need a Halifax. But I would love to see a Calgary and an Edmonton. I think I only have VGDS on the Flight Beam New Zealand. What is it? New Zealand, Auckland, and EBA. Hopefully more to start with many, but I guess they're waiting for official support. This thing is a lot of stuff comes from Asobo. So much of the stuff we're waiting to see. It's because Asobo still has locked down stuff and has not revealed stuff in their API. So yeah, VGDS would be great. More airports to have VGDS. I hope that GSX is able to make marshalling work, because that's one of the things I missed the most was marshalling. GSX and P3D marshalling you in, you know, and you could actually park the airplane without having to switch to an external camera view to see it. You could just get he just wave you in, and you just follow the marshal's instructions. That was fantastic. It was such a again, that was something that I thought at the beginning was gimmicky, but at the end I really learned to love it because it's so realistic. That's how you normally park an airplane. You don't park an airplane by switching to an external camera and looking underneath and saying, "Yep, okay, the nose wheel's on the line." You do it because the marshal shows you where to stop, where to turn, where to align, where to stop. I miss that. I hope that's coming to. I hope that comes with GSX almost as much as the pushback. The pushback and the marshalling, those were the two things that made GSX like a killer app that I just had to have. The other things that Asobo kind of needs to work on as well is radar. Weather radar, because they have such great weather in the sim, and they need to get that into the aircraft and open up that API so the developers can take that information, put it in there, and terrain as well. I think terrain is terrain, I think, is something that, again, also like eGPWS and terrain displays, something that could very much be an API rather than have every developer have their own custom terrain database and their own way of processing it and displaying it on the screen.
WestJet 107 requesting mic check.
Oh, WestJet 107 Edmonton, reach you 5. That's another thing. Like, there's so much kind of stuff that's so common to a lot of airliners that these guys should not be reporting. They should not be, programming and coding the same thing over and over again. And things like terrain and radar, that stuff there should be an API that allows them to basically display that stuff in the aircraft without having to rewrite and recode that over and over again. Walker 1262 Edmonton, when ready, descend flight level 240.
When ready to descend 240, Walker 1262.
All right, well, we do have one guy inbound to Calgary from the south. We get this west wind 2257. He's coming up from Salt Lake City. He's probably about an hour away, so that's gonna kind of round out my stream probably in another hour at the most, I think. Of course, around in the corner there at AdBox. That's cool. Uh, 8,000. Encore 3725, descend 8,000.
Commando 8,000, Encore 3725.
Let's just see if the vector onto the ILS 29, which I don't think ever done in Calgary, is any different.
WestJet 107 requesting IFR clearance to Vancouver.
Oh, WestJet 107 Edmonton, good day. You're cleared to Vancouver via the Stampede 9 departure. Radar vectors bow tag, flight plan route. Departure runway is 29er, squawk code 5174.
WestJet 120 cleared to Vancouver via the Stampede 9 radar vectors to bow tag. Also, I didn't get the squawk. Can you say that again?
Now, WestJet 107, no problem. The departure runway 29er. Squawk code is 0554. I don't think I actually changed it. I think that was what he logged in with. So,
Squawk 0554, WestJet 120, or WestJet 107.
WestJet 107, the readback is correct. Information is Sierra. Push back and start up at your discretion. Call ready for taxi.
I will taxi at my discretion. Information Sierra at WestJet 120, or WestJet 107.
WestJet 107, negative. Push back at your discretion. Call me when you're ready to taxi.
Push at my discretion, WestJet 107.
There you go. Maybe that's what he meant, but it's not what he said. And I had to shut that one down. No. I will tell you when to taxi. Captain of the ship. Don't mess with me. Oh, mercy. Yeah, it's surprisingly still a little bit quiet. It's a Monday night, so I guess it's not the busiest night, but boy, as soon as Europe kind of faded out the last hour or so, boy, the number of connections to the network have really faded. Looks like Moncton Monday is a full go. They've got Halifax Tower, Halifax Terminal, they've got a center controller. That being said, it's a little disappointing to see that they only have 2 airplanes in their airspace, 3 airplanes in their airspace, 2 guys taken off. But they have a whole bunch of inbounds to Halifax from Boston and New York. They got about 4, 5, 6 inbound from Boston, New York. So they do have some inbounds. So it's going to be an interesting day at Moncton Monday. I didn't even realize it was Moncton Monday. I just, once again, lost all track of what day it is of the week. Could be Monday, could be Friday. I have no clue most of the time. Alright, he's coming down the downwind there. And what's the fix? He can intercept final lat. It's Henry, I think. Henry is just inside Henry. He's cross. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's crossing Pibmoo. At 4,900. Where's Pibmoo? Why do I not have Pibmoo on there? I'm going to put that on there because that's the final approach fix. I would like the final approach fix labeled on my terminal diagrams here so I can tell people what it is, tell them to call passing it, tell them to keep the speed up until it, what was it, Pibdoo? Was that it? It's Pibdoo, right? No, it wasn't Pibdoo. What was it? Pibmoo. Not Pibdoo, Pibmoo. There it is. Okay, so that's his final approach fix. Henry at or above 65. We can get him down to 6,000. Turn him towards the airport. Looks like Walker 1262 started down. American 432 is about to leave my airspace in a little bit here. After these couple guys leave, these guys land, there's going to be very little going on. We got the WestJet leaving as well. There's a few things going on, but it's fading pretty quick, unfortunately, already. Just does not seem to be a popular night in Canada. I was originally going to stream last night. I honestly was. Didn't mean to stream today. I meant to stream last night. By the time we got in last night, I was exhausted and was also out of time. I had to be in bed in like an hour. So streaming last night, unfortunately, did not happen. We were over 3 hours late by the time we got done our day, which was basically the time that I had allotted for streaming. I had allotted for 3 hours for streaming. And it was, yeah, by the time we got in last night, it was done. 3 hours was gone. I'd meant to do it last night because I figured Sunday afternoon into the evening would be a much more popular time. I'd get a lot more traffic. Just did not happen. Encore 3725 Edmonton, cancel the star restrictions to send 5,000.
Okay, understand restrictions canceled down to 5,000 for Encore 3725.
Walker 1262 Edmonton, continue to send 12,000. Calgary altimeter 2977.
Continue to send down to 20,000 for Walker 12.
I look at how long some of these guys spend online too. Jamsheed is still online in Boston, 5 hours, 17 minutes in a day. And he does this all the time. He'll do like 6 to 8 hours in a day sometimes. Like 3 hours for me is like the way my life is working out lately and the schedule I have lately. 3 hours is about the maximum I can manage in any one sitting. And it's funny because 2 hours is my minimum in any one sitting. I won't come online if I don't think I'm going to be providing service for more than 2 hours unless I have some compelling reason to do it. I know that it's going to be particularly busy for a 1 hour period that I can be online for and I can help with some traffic, or maybe I'm bridging between two other controllers or taking over from relieving a controller, then I might do for less than 2 hours. But in general, I try not to plan less than 2 hours, because if you plan less than 2 hours, by the time you get online and people start logging on, you're already gone. So I try to plan at least 2 hours, and generally the way it works out in my life, though, I never have like blocks of more than 3 hours. But I mean, 3 hours is a big block of your day too at the end of the day, even for a hobby. Like, and I see some of these guys like multiple times a week, they'll be on here for 4 or 5, 6 hours. I'm just like thinking to myself, what else do you do with your life? Just wait to time a turn here perfectly to find onto base here. Encore 3725, turn right heading 200.
Right turn 200, Encore 3725.
It also feels weird to watch vectoring people to final 5,000. I know the field elevation in Calgary is high, but it feels weird. I'm not used to it. Not used to a high field elevation. I do notice we have one more guy on the ground in Calgary now. Yeah, Calgary. Air Canada 1539, no flight plan filed, but he's logged in. So we will get a few more aircraft to keep our interest up. Not as busy as it could be. Really kind of wish it was a little bit busier, but in 2 weeks when we're doing Cross the Pond, this is going to be a nutty airspace. And it's 2,000 miles from end to end, because these guys, the people coming into Calgary, are going to be coming from some point here from the Greenland airspace. Pick any point you want at random. Direct line just to Calgary, 1,700 miles. They're still 2,000 miles from landing in Vancouver. So it's 1,700 miles. So these guys, it's going to take them at a minimum 4 hours to transit the airspace. That means that one controller there at a rate of, they're probably doing about 20 aircraft per hour. That means one or two controllers could have 80 or more airplanes on their plate, and they're trying to just keep track of them. And the thing is, you're not talking to them much. You're not giving them very many instructions. Encore 3725, turn right heading 260 to intercept, cleared ILS 29er.
Return to intercept 260, cleared ILS 29 for Encore 3725.
Walker 1262, descend 8,000.
Descend 8,000, Walker 1262.
Probably get rid of those Edmonton views now because not much seems to be happening in Edmonton anymore. Air Canada 168 Edmonton, you leave my airspace to the east. Winnipeg is not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates.
Okay, over to en route stuff, and thanks to ATC, Air Canada 168. See ya.
See ya. American 432 Heavy, you're also leave my airspace to the east. Winnipeg's not online. Switch to the en route frequency. Surveillance service terminates. G'day. If he's still on my frequency. He's got it, right? Yeah, he's got it. American 432 Edmonton. See if he responds to a text message. Encore 3725, Calgary winds 26016, gust 25, cleared to land, runway 29er.
Okay, check the winds, clear to land 29 on Encore 3725.
Well, he responded by text. There he goes. Now he's gone. Well, the Walker got to Calgary a little bit ahead, a little bit behind the Encore, but not that much. They're kind of catching each other. Still got these two guys, about another half an hour, and they'll be out of my airspace. I can't believe they've already passed through my whole airspace here. Hoy. Okay, I did clear him to land, so I'll drop him. Walker 1262 Edmonton, star restrictions canceled, descend 6,000.
Cancel star restrictions, descend 6,000, Walker 1262.
Most people still follow them anyways. WestJet still hasn't pushed back off the gate yet, and Air Canada 1539 still hasn't filed a flight plan. But since I don't see anyone else coming into Edmonton, nope, just the departures. So because I don't see anybody else, I'm going to go ahead and shut down my Edmonton views here. It's actually a fairly efficient design. Like if they land on 29, you get them off at Juliet 2. Nice high-speed exit, right back across the apron. Like it's actually a pretty quick taxi in. CYFS. I don't even know where CYFS is. CYHY. I'm pretty sure that's Hay River. He may or may not have this one. I think he's got Alpha. Encore 3725, welcome to Calgary. Right turn on Alpha if you got it. Taxi Alpha Juliet to the apron. Oh, I forgot to say cross 17 right because I was thinking more about his gate than anything else.
Hey, exit on Alpha and Alpha Juliet to the gates, to the apron, rather, for Encore 3725. Thank you, sir.
Encore 3725, no problem. You cleared taxi across runway 17 right.
Now clear cross taxi at 17 right. Thank you.
Lazy habits. CYFS to CYHY. I'm going to go to my Navigraph and just check out CYHY. Nope, does not like CYHY. Let me try reloading. CYHY. It is Hay River. CYFS. I have no idea what CYFS is. Fort Simpson. Fort Simpson. He's VFR too, so he does not. Oh, it's Buffalo. BFL. I forgot what BFL was. Buffalo. 55, 53. Do I have Fort Simpson weather? I do have Fort Simpson weather. Do I have Hay River weather? I should have Hay River weather. I know that from before. There we go. Oh, well, he's going all the way up Alpha. Whatever. It's fine. I got no arrivals, departures on 17 right. Whatever Fruity takes. It's fine by me. Curious to see if this Arcana 1539 is going to file anything, or if this WestJet's ever going to push. He sounded kind of nervous, like he wasn't really sure what he was doing. So I would love to be able to help him, give him a little guidance, but if it's going to be a long time, I'm not going to worry about him too much. Turn him as fast as I can and make this as tight a circuit as I think he can safely fly. This guy seems to know what he's doing, though. Usually if guys know how to ask for clearance from an uncontrolled airport, then they have some idea of what they're doing. Walker 1262, turn right, heading 200. Oh, WestJet's pushing now. Walker 1262, turn right, heading 200.
Right turn 200, Walker 1262.
Okay, so Encore and WestJet are hopefully sorting themselves out there by themselves at the gate, because the apron is your discretion, guys. You do you. Walker 1262, turn right, heading 260 for the intercept, cleared ILS, runway 29er.
Right turn 260 for the intercept, cleared ILS 29er, Walker 1262.
I feel like I may have turned him a little bit too soon, but he seemed like he was just a little bit slow in starting that turn before, so I kind of hedged my bet on that one. Even if he turns a little bit soon, I think he'll still be fine. Sometimes when you're trying to do these things as tight as you can within reason, but you know, you're really kind of trying to make estimates about people's skill level. It's not always easy. It is not always easy to make these estimates and try and figure out what the skill level is. This guy's gonna, in the end of the day, he did it a little faster than I expected. Now he's gonna cut it awfully close. Well, I'm really running out of steam here, so WestJet 107 is departing. If he gets airborne and nothing else exciting is happening, I may well pull the plug at that point. I know I have this one Walker or west wind inbound from the south, but yeah, I don't know how much longer I can keep myself awake here. I've been online for 3.5 hours. Where did that 3.5 hours go? Holy chiboli. How long is this stream? 3 hours, 21 minutes the stream has been online. Yeah, wow. The nice thing is that like there was an option. I didn't know this existed in Twitch, but there's an option when the stream drops to temporarily suspend your stream, but keep it open so that if you reconnect, so if you have a connection that's problematic, like mine was for the first hour or so, where it kept dropping,
WestJet 107, ready for taxi.
WestJet 107, Edmonton. Information is Sierra, altimeter 2977, runway 29er. Taxi apron your discretion, hotel, golf, and foxtrot.
Taxi hotel, golf, and foxtrot, WestJet 120. Altimeter.
WestJet 107, if you need it, the altimeter Calgary 2977.
Altimeter 2977, WestJet 120. Or WestJet 107.
Sounds familiar. Or sounds unfamiliar. Sounds like a bit of a rookie, but that's okay. Keep an eye on him. We'll help him get out of here.
Edmonton, Walker 1262, fully established ILS 29er.
Walker 1262, the Calgary winds 260, 16, gusting 25. Clear to land, runway 29er.
Clear to land, runway 29er, Walker 1262.
Walker 1262, do you know where you're parking at Calgary?
Gate 34 for Walker 1262.
Thank you. I should check my Calgary charts and see where gate 34 is here. Calgary parking chart. Oh, for crying out loud, Navigraph. Why do I have to reload you so often? Here's a fun one. Do you think Quality Wings has already dropped their 787 for MSFS, or are they quietly crunching? Aha! Excellent question. My wishful thinking says I hope they're still crunching it. It strikes me as like a lot of developers are only just getting to that point where they feel like comfortable enough that they can publish in the sim now. So I would hope they're still developing it, because I never did fly their Quality Wings in P3D. It was one of the next airplanes I was thinking about purchasing, and then of course MSFS dropped, and I just everything P3D went out the window. Like, I'm not spending any more money on this platform. So more than anything, that's, for me at this point, it's wishful thinking that they are still working on their 8.7. I hope so, because that default 8.7 sucks terribly. It sucks. Expletive deleted here. I hope that they will be. Yeah, I hope they'll be developing for MSFS, because I thought that was a great plane. Everyone I talked to who did have it said it was a great airplane. It was well put together. It worked really well. It was a really enjoyable experience. So I'm hoping so, because yeah, that default, any of those default airliners are just not even worth giving the time of day. So I hope that they will. I don't know. I feel like checking the MSFS forums, they seem to have done it like this before. Quiet for a long time, the release gets published a few weeks before. Yeah, a lot of developers seem to go that way, and I get it with the developers, because it's, you put so much time and effort, but it's also, especially because it's a new platform, your best estimate is just a wild guess sometimes as to when your development is going to really be ready to shine. Walker 1262, right turn on Charlie if you got it.
Right turn on Charlie, Walker 1262.
Walker 1262, thanks. Welcome to Calgary. Taxi Charlie and Hotel Delta into the apron.
Charlie, Hotel Delta into the apron, Walker 1262.
Yeah, so many developers seem to be doing it that way with this sim, and I think it's not necessarily that developers want to do it this way, but they're just uncertain of themselves, and they're uncertain of the sim, and they don't know what they're going to be able to promise, because nothing really puts the pressure on you, like as a developer, like putting information out there, especially like targets, like this is the release date, we're going to release on this date. Like, oh my God, it's all of a sudden, if you're not like nearly ready when you do that, what a pain. Like, I get I get the developers that do that, especially the smaller places where you only have like 1 or 2 people working on a project. So it depends on your free time, on your ability to get that done. Fly Tampa, first to mind. They don't publish a lot of information, and when they often do, it's often release is imminent, and they very little in between. And it's frustrating to us as the customer, as a consumer, because we just don't know what's coming, and we can't make plans on it. And I would be okay with tentative release dates. I'm okay with that. PMDG does that a fair bit. They kind of, they don't say anything for a while, then they come out and they're like, yeah, we're targeting, first quarter or third quarter, whatever. We're kind of targeting around this, but and they're very kind of, I won't say vague, but uncertain. And I'm fine with that. I totally get that software development is not a linear process, and you can predict how long it's going to take to um, reach a certain point. I totally get that development is non-linear, and especially when people are working other jobs, when this is not your primary job and all of your day is invested in this. But it is nice to know what people are working on and that progress is being made, and that is something I think a lot of developers could do a little bit more. You don't even necessarily need to publish a whole lot of screenshots, but just a periodic once a month update. Flight Tampa would be first on my list of people that really need to just do this. Don't go to town. You don't need to do you don't need like to document your life story every single month, but just, hey, Toronto's coming along nicely. Still looking like it's 6 months away. Boston is coming probably 3 to 6 months behind Toronto. Amsterdam is in the works, but no target date yet, at least a year out. Something simple like that. It doesn't have to be complicated, but every month, every quarter even, just to put some information out there so that we kind of have an idea of what, because so many of them it's an information vacuum, and it's unfortunate because then we make choices based on those vacuums, and then we suddenly find out at the last minute, oh, guess what, this is coming out. It's like even Lockheed Martin was terrible for this. Guess what, P3D version 5 is releasing next week. What? I'm still deeply mired in version 4. It just very little kind of lead up to that. Of course, Microsoft took it the opposite direction and spent a year teasing us with Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, I think the fellows at Phoenix are doing an excellent job too. Exactly. I think they're doing a good job. They're showcasing what they're doing a little bit here and there. They're not committing to anything at this point, but they're showing that things are happening. Things are working behind the scenes, and it doesn't have to be long. Phoenix has been pretty hardcore committed. Like, they're doing pretty long videos, like half-hour, 45-minute system demonstration videos. The guys go into town on these videos. It's great. It doesn't need to be that in depth. PMDG does very similar. They don't do the videos necessarily, but they do a lot of. Rendezzo does pretty extensive write-ups of what PMDG's progress is, what their expectations are, and that's great from a consumer perspective. We kind of know what's coming. When they start running into delays, it's fine. Like, I'm a human being. I could deal with that. I get it. Stuff falls behind, especially software development. It's not easy to pick a target date unless you do like this and you just wait in your black hole, and then all of a sudden, okay, it's finished. Let's announce it. We're going to release it in a week. Let's announce it because it's done. And there's no interim announcements as it's being developed. I can take that target date slip. I can take that. I wish that the developers would kind of give us a little bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, a little bit more credit that we can understand that this kind of thing will happen. That it's not going to be a perfect system. That we will get delays. Things will not always happen on time. But yeah, so many developers, yeah, just sort of they don't want to say anything until they're nearly done, and it's so hard. Yeah, the Phoenix tutorials are excellent for that. They're doing a great job of kind of teaching the airplane as you go, and most of the time, especially the Airbus stuff, you can find manuals all over the internet anyways. WestJet 107 Edmonton, contact me once you're airborne. Winds 260, 16, gust 25. Clear for takeoff, runway 29er.
Who do I contact again?
WestJet 107, call me. Call me airborne, winds 260, 16, gusting 25, clear takeoff 29er.
I will call you airborne, cleared for takeoff, runway 26, WestJet 107.
I'll take that. 2629, just turn the 9 upside down, it's fine. But yeah, Airbus, I think you can pretty much find almost any Airbus manual on the internet. Boeing ones are a little bit harder to find. But Yeah. What you probably want to search for if you really want the real experience, and maybe you're not quite there yet, search for the FCOM, Flight Crew Operations Manual, FCOM. And I just typed it into Google, and I found a link that I think is going to work. I am not a robot. Oh, for crying out loud. Yes, those are traffic lights. Jesus Christ. Sometimes I hate. Oh, Google, I hate you. Download file. But yeah, if you search, especially for the 320 family, there's a couple of copies of the FCOM online in various places. I searched for it, I found a copy, so it's downloading as we speak. It can be a bit intense to read an FCOM. It can absolutely be intense. They're generally like 1,000 to 2,000 pages of information, but a lot of that is diagrams too, and a lot of that is like performance charts. Like here's the takeoff performance data, landing performance data. So a lot of charts. You know, but like personally, like I love it. I love reading the systems. Like before I go and take a new airplane out, I will usually read the manual cover to cover before I ever boot the airplane once. Maybe not cover to cover, but I will definitely read the airplane. I read the manual before I take the airplane out because I want to make the most of it. I want to have the realistic situation. I want to have a good understanding of what we're doing in the airplane, why we're doing certain things. So you know, and if you don't want to go like too crazy to town, the general order that you study things in an airplane, though, you start with limitations. That's usually the first section you go to when you learn a new airplane. You go to the limitations section of the manual, and you go through those and you say what are the limitations of this airplane? What's the maximum speed for the flaps, the gear? What are the maximum weights? Max speeds for various things. Like those are usually the first things because those are usually the easier things because they're like usually set numbers.
Edmonton Center, WestJet 120 is airborne 5,000 for 6,500.
WestJet 107 Edmonton, thank you. Identified, climb 16,000.
Climb 16,000, WestJet 107.
Usually the second section you then start going into is the systems and start at least skimming the systems, get a basic idea of kind of how the aircraft is set up. Maybe not read them all in depth, but start skimming through those before you get into the really in-depth systems and the procedures. You want to have an idea of what the aircraft, especially like the flight deck, like what does the flight deck look like? What are the different systems in the flight deck? WestJet 107 Edmonton, turn left direct bow tag on course.
Turn left direct to Mopeg, WestJet 120.
And WestJet 107, it's the left turn direct bow tag, Bravo Oscar Tango Alpha Golf.
Oh, direct to Moteg, WestJet 107.
He'll get it. I have faith he'll get it.
Good afternoon, Edmonton Center, Air Canada 1539, looking for IFR clearance to Denver.
And let's see, last call, sorry, that was Air Canada 1539.
Roger.
Air Canada 1539, good day. You're cleared to Denver via the Stampede 9 departure. Radar vectors GAD key flight plan route. Departure runway is 29er. Squawk code 0534. Air Canada 1539, did you copy? Have I lost my connection? When it gets really quiet all of a sudden, I get worried about losing my connection. Oh, look at that.
Edmonton Center, Walker 1262, hello again, IFR to Edmonton with Romeo. Correction, Sierra.
Walker 1262, Edmonton, stand by, break, WestJet 107, climb flight level 380.
Say again, WestJet 107.
WestJet 107, climb, flight level 380.
Climb flight level 380, WestJet 107.
All right, Walker 1262, you're clear to Calgary. Correction, you're clear to Edmonton via the Stampede 9 departure. Radar vectors BitGuff flight plan route. Depart runway 29er, squawk code 0622.
Cleared Edmonton, Stampede 9, departure, vectors to Vic, expect 29 squawk 0622, Walker 1262.
Walker 1262, the readback is correct. Information is Sierra. Push and start at your discretion and call ready for taxi.
Check Sierra, push and start is mine, we'll call for taxi, Walker 1262.
Okay, so the first one I found was password protected, but there's got to be... there's got to be at least a few copies. I know I found one before. A copy of the A320 FCOM floating around on the internet somewhere. Yeah, I'll just Google it. You'll find a few links. Hopefully one of them will get you there because then you can read all the systems. Yeah, that's a lot of pages. It is, absolutely, because that is the manual. That is the ultimate manual that the flight crew should need. Everything else is based on that manual, even when they have a like a quick reference handbook, everything is in that manual. So, and these airplanes, like the Airbuses, are awful, gosh darn expensive, complicated aircraft with huge amounts of computers, huge amounts of possible failure scenarios. There we go. I found it. Flight crew training manual. Good enough. The flight crew training manual is pretty much the same as the FCOM, except the only difference usually between a training manual and the operations manual is the training manual is not updated. Operations manual is always required to be kept current, whereas a training manual will not be kept current necessarily. Operating techniques, flight control training manual. Yep, oh, training manuals is definitely good. I'm going to save that one to my computer because I might enjoy reading that one myself later. Never did get a read back from Air Canada 1539, did I? This guy, I know I've found one out here before. Well, it looks like I'm back online briefly. Looks like it's really having a hard time keeping that connection, so. All right, I'm going to say my goodbyes before I get kicked off again. Thank you everyone for watching. It's gone again, I think. Just can't win. It's just too far gone. Walker 1262, Edmonton, contact me. Airborne, the winds 260, 16, gusting 25, clear for takeoff, runway 29er.
We'll call you airborne, clear for takeoff 29er, Walker 1262.
Yeah, it's just not going to stay.